think he is.
What's going on?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm just making sure because all of his responses have just been hello, which does not indicate that he hears us.
Good point.
Yeah.
You're loud.
Okay, that works.
That'll happen.
Harry, I need you to say, I put the pickle in the pickle jar just to confirm that you can hear us.
Cucumber.
Fuck.
Well, that wasn't exactly what he said, but that's no big deal.
Close enough.
Okay. All right. When we last left off, you guys were taking a short rest in the chapel after discovering that the two crypts in the hallway outside were trapped. You were able to dissipate the gas that came from the crypts, and you were able to loot them for what little that was in there. And you discovered that the room afterwards is the room with the spiders were in. And I think that's when you guys decided to take a short rest.
During
what
which
do you
we
guys-
Are we still wanting to burn the spiders? Or can we get the heck out of here?
It would be safer to burn the spiders.
Did you?
Okay. We have the bomb juice. Who has the bomb juice?
I
bomb
believe
juice?
that I have
Yeah, the
the
bomb
flammable
juice.
liquid.
The formaldehyde?
Yeah, the
Yes.
bomb juice.
For all intents and purposes, the description fits the function.
My character sighs and just starts putting back on his armor.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
Oh God, is J-Hub talking?
Yes, he is.
Oh, does he have
Right.
you? He's not talking right this second, but I mean, if he's got you muted or if you're muted him in Discord, you're not going to hear him.
Yeah, I haven't said
I
anything
don't
until
think I
now.
have him muted.
He just spoke. Did you not hear him?
Nope. Hang on.
I can see
Maybe
Aries
it's not
mic
set to-
activating, but I can't hear him in Discord.
Like, they both have their mics on Discord muted, but I don't have them muted.
Interesting.
Okay, so their mics say that they're muted on Discord.
Yeah, Jules doesn't anymore.
They do?
Oh, there you go. I hear Aries now.
All right, can Ari and Hiseo, can you hear me?
Did either of you guys?
You're just a little low.
Okay. Spiral, did you hear him?
Yeah.
Okay.
When
You're
I
talking
say
about
him,
Ari, right?
no, I'm talking about Hefe.
No, it still shows the line over his microphone.
All right. Do we all want? If it would be easier for tonight, we can all just abandon Roll20 as far as audio goes and just go to Discord, because this is causing. This looks like it's causing a lot of confusion.
Well, he's saying he can't hear you in Discord.
Right. Yeah. But if I unmute my mic in Discord, we'll get the reverb between.
I don't know if we will. I've got everybody except for the two people we can't hear muted.
Same here.
So far as I see, after I unmute Jeff, it looks like he's still muted on Discord by himself of his own volition.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Ari?
Strangely, I could hear you both times, before and now.
Huh. Okay. All right. We're not getting the double sound wave, so let's just see how it goes.
Thank you,
Because I can
Discord.
hear them through your mic, I'm going to go ahead and turn them down on Discord and just listen to them through you.
All right. So, what would you guys like to do? I know you were discussing using formaldehyde to burn the spiders.
I don't know if there are any spiders.
Well, there was the hole that we never bothered to search due to, well, nearly expired
Yeah, but
milk.
We have everything we came here for. Do we want to chance it?
Did we want to... Were you guys trying to put the formaldehyde down the hole or the bodies that are on the same level as us?
In the hole.
Okay.
Is that before or
I don't know
after
that
we...
you just don't know anything's in the hole. You might be wasting it.
But what else would we use the formaldehyde for?
That is an excellent question.
I mean, I say that we
If
go
they're
down
not
the
at
hole.
the hole,
It's not a
they
bad
could
thing to
be
have.
further in.
Yeah,
not-
I would say we keep it on hand, go down the hole, investigate, and if need be, I can always just pour it out on the floor in front of us and then we set it ablaze.
When we were outside of the hole, we had some problems. I would not like to think about what would happen inside the hole.
I don't want to go in the hole.
Are we gonna scout it out or
Or we could just...
throw something down there first?
I mean, we already threw a torch down there before.
Correct. You couldn't see very far.
Web does make for a excellent burning material.
They're going through the wall.
I believe that Talk had a stick that was on fire now as a makeshift torch, did you not?
Don't think that was me. Little memento.
So far as I am aware, Harry has spare torches.
Oh, there's always that.
I can cast Firebolt.
That seems like that would be more
Harry
deadly
does
than
have
this bag of...
torches.
Whatever we do, we don't want to repeat of what happened in the room with the poison spray. Let's try not to destroy ourselves in the process.
Maybe we should just leave. The only way those spiders are getting out is if they figure out how the elven finger doors work.
Are you
If
sure?
there are any more.
Because if you remember up top, there's a whole hole in the ground.
That hole is
The well?
as deep as the halfling site.
And spiders climb. Wait, it's as deep as the halfling.
The halfling went in the hole and then crawled back out of the hole.
Yes.
So
There's
it's not like
less of a hole and
all the
more
way.
depression. A clinical depression.
I mean, they didn't get out of here before we came along, so they probably aren't going to come out after we leave.
As a matter of fact, they might just starve.
But what if the person that's responsible for all of this is in the hole?
Well, sucks to be them. Sounds like they are in the worst possible place to be inside of this crypt.
So how about this? Why don't we go back and we give our stuff to Ziggy? And then we'd be like, hey, Ziggy, there's this creepy hole in the ground, and somebody was doing this creepy stuff down there. How much you going to give us to go check that out? And make the decision then.
Fair. I'm willing to leave with this. And it's about time we take the halfling back to be rid of her finally once and for all anyway.
Yeah, we haven't been sharing our rations with her.
No, we have.
I have.
Well,
I have.
some of us have.
Such a waste.
I don't want her. I don't want her to rot. I just want her to go away.
Well, we simply open the door, untie her, and she runs away.
I mean,
It'd be
we
more
have
likely
that
she'd
off our
run and
conscience.
jump into the hole.
Well, then that solves two problems.
You know, she's got a point.
If she runs back outside and plays in the water again,
be forced to intervene.
you just let her run ahead of you. Walk slow.
So I can't remember. Does this door have a finger?
Yes.
Okay.
So
but
far
this
as I
one
remember, we
and this
propped that
don't.
one open.
These two don't have fingers, right?
This one is a wooden door. This one is a finger door.
These ones are propped open, but these two don't have fingers.
What about these two up here in C3 where the
I
fucking
I think
hole
they
is?
just said those
This
had
door
fingers.
is either propped open or whatever, and this door is also propped open.
Okay, I didn't see the pings originally, so I don't know if you were talking about those doors or the doors in C8.
Yeah. See, this door was locked and had to be propped open. You had a pit here that you had to go around.
Which now has
This
a
was
lid over.
not locked. This was a standard wooden door.
Yeah.
Okay, but the ones in C6, they do or do not require fingering.
The one at the top of C6 is a wooden door. It requires no finger. This door that I'm pinging right now requires a finger.
Yep. It's just the
Okay.
bottom one.
And this one is or is not propped open.
It is.
That one's open. I
Yeah,
went
that
back
one's
to
open.
the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we can leave through C3.
Do we want to leave through C3 or C6 and not have to jump over a hole again?
The
Is
hole
there
is
still
currently
poison
covered
in
by a
C6?
stone lid.
What?
The hole is currently covered by a stone lid.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I'll go finger this door.
Let's
That-
make like
that
I
a
believe
door
that door's
doesn't
already
have a
open.
finger.
Then I won't finger the door and I'll just walk out.
Excellent.
Okay, let's
You
go.
really should work on your phrasing.
Oh, I think she said exactly what she wanted to say.
Yeah.
fingering doors is not looked kindly upon in this society.
This door is closed, right?
If they
Correct.
didn't want us to finger the door,
Okay,
they wouldn't
good.
have finger holes.
We've got one finger left for all this, I believe.
My character
Which is
stops
great,
in
because-
bewilderment after he reaches the graffiti and he just looks back to the rest of the room. Why is there a graffiti in the word of hole and dirt?
Because Talk was going through his update and we didn't know
Update.
where he was going to be, so we just told him where we might have been if we weren't in the area we pointed him at.
Oh, that's what that meant.
My character
Yeah, so like when you woke up, you were pointing this way, but in the event you weren't back before we were done over here, this was the hole.
For a moment, I thought it was life trying to predict my fate of falling in that hole.
Oh, didn't you know? I'm not a wizard. I'm a fortune teller.
My character pantomimes as if he's about to say something, then he looks up and starts thinking about it. That is a good idea, actually.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
let's not forget to
gonna-
let the halfling out of the coffin.
Yeah, I thought she was trapped in this. We just never moved her. I actually, yeah, so I think she's trapped in this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
nobody
and
has the
grab
permissions
her.
to move Leviathan.
Yeah, so I'll grab her and drag her with us.
Use your imagination. Oh, also I give her a crowbar back.
No.
No,
That's a bad
Imagination.
idea.
I take the crowbar immediately from her.
I'm going to put it in the hole.
I don't care that she is now an inanimate object. There's
Talk's just
no
gonna
telling
fucking
what
pick her up
Jayhawk
again
will
like
do to
before.
us with a halfling and a crowbar. With our PTSD of it.
I have never heard of this deity, but your fervent worship of him confuses me greatly.
It's one you should fear. Believe me.
I don't. I really don't.
If you want to give me access to her token, I'll attach her to me and move her with us.
All right. Let me see if I can do that.
Congratulations, you are now a conjoined twin with the halfling. Welcome to hell.
I say we just untie her and send her on her way.
I think that to make our lives easier and for it to be safer, we at least escort her back to town.
We are in town.
I mean, back to actual town, not an abandoned version of it.
There's a road that goes right to the gate.
Yep. We're going to walk her right to that road.
Wait, what if this isn't a halfling, but rather a lemming that someone used polymorph on? Think about
Another point, we couldn't trust her to walk past a pool of that obviously attacked me and we said, hey, don't go near this. And she says cannonball. So
So much the better. Let her play in the water.
Quote
You mean the
unquote.
thing we should have done from the beginning?
You know,
I like
we
how we're
need to
arguing about
stop
this as if she
outside.
isn't standing right here.
We need to stand outside and heal up. Set her free, let her go, and we'll heal up and then follow.
Is that not what we just did?
And if she loves you, she'll come back.
We just had a short rest,
No,
but
that's
there's
not.
the water fountain that makes you feel all bubbly inside and takes away your boo-boos. And we can drink
Yes.
from it.
That's
might
what
be
I'm
drugs.
referring to.
So speaking of holes, I'm kind of curious. Do you guys think the hole that we didn't go in somehow leads to the same place that this blood is leading to?
Well, now my curiosity is
Right?
being
Why did you?
tickled. You should not have asked that question.
Are we
Well,
gonna
I
go
think
down the hole?
if we're gonna do that, we should get at least a little bit more information. Because what if the spiders we were fighting were the babies?
All the more reason to leave now that you've said that.
I have an idea.
Yes.
My character approaches
I
Jewel.
hate
Could I have one of the?
spiders.
May I have one of the thigh bones that you've appropriated?
Sure.
Okay.
And I hand it over.
Okay. After
Take
she
it out,
hands me
Mondo.
the thigh bone or whatever it was, I would
It
like
was
to
a
cast.
femur.
I would like to cast Prestidigitation, put an arcane sigil on it that is very, very visible, and I'm going to try and cram the bone through the gate, or the grate, or whatever it is.
And all it says is fuck off.
You're trying to jam the bone through the grate.
How
right here?
wide is this grate? Would the bones fit?
No.
Okay, never mind. I will instead take a small piece of paper,
Okay.
and I'm going to instead cast Prestidigitation on that, and I'm going to slide it through the grate, and I'm going to see how far it goes until I can either see it or it stops being visible.
Make
All right.
sure you hold your breath. I'm pretty sure that grate smells horrendous.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't have a pleasant smell.
It probably
You
smells
watch
better than the embalming
gently-
room.
You watch it gently fall down in slow motion until you can't see it anymore.
Well, it
No
goes
thanks.
somewhere.
No thanks. I choose life.
Well, I mean, we don't have to follow the spiders today.
We indeed do not have to. Shall we exit and go and talk to Ziggy, or are we going in the hole after all?
I believe that
We
is
are
up to
not-
you,
I
Mr.
don't know that we're
Scapekeeper, holder
prepared.
of the fingers.
I would say at least you would want to open the door so the ones that are still hurt could partake of the water. And we could be done with the halfling and then close the door again.
Yes, let's go back to Ziggy, and we will come back to this at another point in time. Halfling free.
Oh, I'm saying you could close the door with a halfling on the outside and you'll be halfling free.
I only have the one finger to get us out.
I know. And the door will only stay open for so long. If we prop it up and temporarily get our fill of the water, we can go back in, the halfling on the outside. Then you don't have to worry about the halfling anymore.
Are you guys not ship shape after resting?
No.
I think several are not.
So Talk definitely looks banged up. So Talk's a bit hurt.
Did you not get a lot of your hit points back?
I did not.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Okay,
I
fine.
can count on one hand.
We'll do that. We will heal at the water and then go back to the hole. Does everybody agree before I finger this door?
And part ways with the halfling.
Yes. And part ways with this menace.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay.
Alright. I finger the door, and then
Okay.
I will ask Kaseo to use one of the last little remaining doors or lids to prop open this one so that it can stay open as well.
All right.
Also suggest
Are you all right, Haseo?
Those grunts of exertion talk. I know you wouldn't know what that is.
Oops.
I would
was
also
I
suggest
am quite
filling all the
strong.
water skins.
It won't be
Yeah.
healing water, but it will be water.
Correct.
Time to find out. Does this work on talk?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
I am going to send you a quick message if that's okay.
Who?
Specify whom.
Well, talk will certainly take a drink then. At least to give it a try.
Just curious. If something would happen, if we put a lid over the grate where the blood flow, or maybe the rubble from the collapsed tomb, it's got to be there for something.
To drain the blood from the statue.
That's what worries me. Where is the statue getting the blood from? Or was this magical?
Yes,
Oh, it's magical.
the drain is to drain, and the blood is for looks.
Okay, Haseo, you get
I
two
don't
back.
know.
I am at full.
Talk, you get one.
I am officially at half health.
And
Yeah.
Jules gets two.
I see how it is. Roll
First
20.
talk.
I see how it is. Roll 20. I see you. Too easy. We'll sort this out later.
Would it help if we submerged talk?
He technically can't drown, so if you want to baptize him, there you go. But given what we've seen, is baptizing him in this water a religious symbol a smart
Jesus.
idea?
I hit the wrong motherfucking button trying to post something, and it was like, oh, you want to load a different webpage? No!
Sneaking away.
Move some things over here. Spoon, what's your passive perception?
16.
Motherfucker.
Yep.
All right, well,
Well, hold on. Zampiros, what are you doing?
I am sending you a message.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Everyone sent you off a message.
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you what. Even Talk's passive perception sees that, and his is fucking god awful. He's got like a 10, I think.
yeah, but you guys aren't. Never mind.
Okay.
We're taking a sip of water.
All right. So go ahead, Ko.
Okay. I leave with her,
Okay.
and I'm gonna start walking her over to the road. Do I know that he's following me?
You can see him because he didn't mention anything about a sneak or stealth. So
Correct.
you can see him plain as day.
Gonna follow at this time after seeing him follow her.
Wait,
Hold on.
conga line of
I want to
everyone
look.
said-
I want to look at stuff. Give me a second here. Hold on.
I'm
There
waiting.
are seconds.
So
All
are
I
we
got was
leaving
half
then?
a step.
I don't think we're supposed to be leaving, no.
Did we change our minds?
No.
I'm simply walking her to the road.
Oh.
And making sure
There's
that
a-
she is
there's a
far
side thing-
away from us.
And then shoving her down the well. Oh no! Timmy's stuck in the well again.
Wouldn't that be a hoot? You shove her down the well and you find her later when you come back in?
Then
That would
no,
be
that would not be a
horrifying.
hoot.
No, because that means that the fucking spider hole connects to the web. That's what
Zero
that means.
hoots. Zero hoots.
I can see it now. It's just gonna end up with her and 4 other skeletons. She'll welcome us
What?
back into the crypt, and all of a sudden we'll just hear.
They're playing like a game of cards on top of one of the fucking coffins.
Oh Jesus!
I'm sorry, I'm not ready for that image. I think we may need to.
Hold on, there's still whispering happening.
No, I'm on the edge of my seat. Everybody waits for whispers. This whisper is brought to you by Roll20.
Whisper sound effect.
And a very good shout out to Laura Bailey.
Sponsored by Shadow Raid, League of Legends. You ever wanted to...
All right. I'm impressed with that.
Fuck!
You suck.
Look, I'm not dexterous, okay?
You're not elegant either. You're just like,
Oh,
get your ass
sorry.
on the stairs.
What do you mean you're not dexterous? You're above average.
That means not dexterous in D&D.
She doesn't have a +4. She's not a literal demigod of stealth.
This is just the chaos session right here. Because you got fucking
So-
tripping upstairs.
So in Paris, it's apparent, becomes quickly apparent to you that she's trying to ditch you, but she's not able to. She's doing a very poor job of it. What do you do?
She's trying to ditch me on a road.
Yep.
That's why the roll's so low.
You all have seen that commercial for people playing hide and go seek in the desert, haven't you?
I'm afraid
I
not,
don't know.
but I could.
Do I know Haseo's following?
I don't know how far I got.
Yeah,
Why
Kodak,
do you
you
remember-
know that he's following because you can see him. He's just kind of walking along behind you.
Oh, okay. Well, then at this point,
Wait,
I'll just like
you're Haseo.
try and play it off that I turn around and see Haseo, and then I'm just gonna chill out because having somebody follow me without Haseo would have freaked me out a little.
Okay. What are the
There's
rest
not
of
an
you doing?
acting skill, but oh, there's a
Well, I mean-
performance though.
Performance.
Yeah.
As I said, if people are going up the stairs, I'm probably going to be following them.
Ah, there's my performance. How do I do? Do I play it off like I was just worried that somebody
believe
was
that would
following
be
me and
bluff.
Haseo wasn't there?
That would be deception. wouldn't it?
Oh, is it
It could be
deception?
any of them. It could be any of them. You would go with whatever your best. If
Okay.
you have a better,
Oh.
well, yeah,
I have a better deception.
you have a better. Okay, so there's the score, but all right, hold on.
I don't
second.
give a fuck what Haseo sees. I care what Zump sees.
Right. So you're trying. All right. So Zampera, she's basically telling you that she got a little worried that she was up here without Haseo. What do you do?
Okay, so after seeing her like try to ditch me on a road, that is a very hard image to come up with. It's like let me try and hide in plain sight on a road.
Just like hands
Anyway.
in front of face. Can't see me.
So she tries to play it off by basically saying that, oh, I was just worried that my bodyguard wasn't with me. It was like, that makes sense. She's a lord or whatever. Very well. I shall meet you at the Church of the Chainspringer. If you have no need of my services, have a good day.
Wait, are we leaving or are we?
Wait,
Hold on.
so it's just me, Zump, and Haseo, right?
Yes.
And
right
you
now,
left?
yeah.
I think me and Jewel are coming up because everybody
We're
else
headed
is
that
leaving.
way.
You're headed that way, but you're not there right now. Zump, did you just say you left?
I
It takes, like,
literally
5 seconds to
just
walk up
said
the
to your
stairs.
characters, like, well, you look like you're trying to ditch me, and you were apparently scared that I was going to do something to you, so I was like, okay, well, I'll be going to the Church of the Changebringer now. If you have need of my services, I'll be leaving now.
Oh, you're being facetious. I got it.
That is not in any way what I am doing. I am telling you bold-facedly that is what I am doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so then you're not going back into the hole with us?
Are we going back? I thought the plan originally was for you to go and, like, get someone to potentially pay you to go down that hole.
Yes. Same.
Oh, well then yeah, I guess that we are leaving, but are you leaving before me is the question.
But wouldn't we all be going to the same place to get paid?
Yeah. But look,
'Cause we gotta
this
get
is all
paid for the
within
books.
milliseconds of each other. You guys aren't there at this
Right.
very second,
At
and
this
these
point-
answers are important.
At this point in time, it is just Ko and Zumperos. No one else is outside yet.
Okay. And Zamperos is leaving actively. And he said that. All right, so I'm gonna look at him and be like, okay, we'll meet you back there, and then we'll go and meet Ziggy.
Very well. I hope he pays you in full. Good day. My character begins to leave.
Is he
Okay.
gone now?
I am gone.
I drag her into the woods,
Okay.
and then I kill her.
All right.
The question is, does any of the others get up there before you're dragging them out?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
'cause
thought
they
I was
would have been up
behind you.
there for a little bit. So I mean, odds are we would have come
This
up.
was all
seen
happening
everybody
while
else leaving.
walking. What do you mean a little bit?
Well, this all was all happening while you guys were getting drinks out of the fountain.
I thought the drinks happened before they left.
No, because Ko said she wanted to leave immediately.
Yeah, so that's what I was whispering to him about. While you guys were getting
Right.
drinks, I was sneaking out. I didn't need to roll for you guys because you were distracted with the water, but Zump was watching me.
I was doing no such thing.
Oh,
I'm
well,
not
then
going to
Zump
tell you
wasn't
what I
When
did
watching me.
because
Haseo
you
was
had
leaving,
already
we were
left.
like, are we doing a conga line of leaving? Do we need to go up? And I think there was confusion if everybody was actually leaving the crypt or not, because the tokens were still here. That's why there was like that confusion, I think.
I'm gonna leave it up to the whole DM's choice. Does anybody see me drag her into the woods?
Give me one more stealth check.
Fuck. Do I get advantage because they're not right here?
Well, Haseo's up there, ain't he?
No,
I followed
don't-
Zump after he left because he's following Ko.
I'm still
But-
honestly don't give a
And
fuck.
she
if
doesn't
Haseo's
care if
there or not.
Haseo is.
Can we just stop with
Fuck
the
it!
following
I don't
thing?
need advantage. I don't need advantage.
Time for a perception roll.
By whom?
I don't know. I mean,
Yes.
Not going to do any good.
nope.
God,
Alright, so-
you know you want to do it. You know you want to just give me that straight up nat 20.
You're able to get past the sinkhole.
But
Not happening.
Nope.
Yeah, not even gonna bother.
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm fucking choking over here.
All right, so Ko, you're able to get past the sinkhole into some of the undergrowth and brush where you're not observed.
I take my staff that has the blades on it and slit her throat with it.
All right.
Now she's living even though she's not here, right?
She's not living now.
Well, right. Yeah, fair. Does she count?
Count as I'm not sure what you mean by does she count?
I'll send you another message. Hold on.
Okay. Oh no. Sorry. No.
She doesn't count?
No, that does not count.
Ah.
I'm surprised she didn't fight back.
That's why. Well, no one said they were unbinding her. Last I heard, she was just getting taken out of the closet and.
Oh, we had taken the rope off of her and put it in the hole.
That's right.
She was just trapped in the cupboard.
I mean, if you want to go to that level, yeah, she's going to defend herself. I'm going to have to roll, so it could go any way when the rolls start rolling.
All right, let me ask you. If I agree to this, are you going to play as the DM or are you going to play as the idiot that throws torches to attack?
I'm gonna have to,
Oh my god.
To be
I'm
fair,
gonna
it's
have
not
to
like
play
we've
as
given
that
her many
her.
other weapons besides torches.
I mean, you
She
did
does.
take
I think she
away-
only has her fists, right? Because I have her crowbar.
No,
Which
she has
do
a dagger.
do like 4 damage.
She had a whip.
guaranteed.
She had a whip.
And a
Oh,
knife.
What? A whip?
Yeah.
but she still was throwing torches.
I mentioned it like 6 times.
You know what? Bet no, it's fine. It's just me and her, and she doesn't have much in the way of weapons, and I know I can fuck her up. So
Ooh, but
yeah,
here's the issue,
if
though.
you're willing, then I'm
She's
totally
loud as
down to
shit,
fight
though.
her.
All right.
So, does this make any difference on the perception rolls?
Oh.
No.
Okay, so we're not going to see them fighting either.
No.
Got it.
You're not going to see any of this happen.
Man.
We might not see it. You might hear it.
Yeah, because we do got to remember this halfling was loud as fuck.
And spell casting is not quiet.
Hey guys, opening the port.
All right, hold on a second. I'm trying to bring her
Sensing
character
some hostility.
on my desktop so that I can effectively. All right. All right, Co. Go ahead and give me the best of deception, performance, or bluff. If you're trying to keep your first attack secret.
Okay.
If you're being blatant about it, then we roll initiative. All right. So her passive perception is 13. She doesn't see it coming. Go ahead and make your first attack.
Bet. I also see that she's not at full health. I think that's a 9. Those itty bitty little numbers. Does that count?
Well, she should be because she's been full resting for a
Oh
couple
yeah,
of
you're
days.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. God damn you and your
And
logic.
she's a paladin.
Yeah.
Remember, I didn't give her the benefit of experience, so she's still first level.
All right. I'll cast a Blood Fang.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Do I have to click this? There we go.
All right. So let's see here. Yep. All right. That hits. Go ahead and give the damage.
Oh.
Oh, that's necrotic now too.
Yes. All right. Where is her? All right. So. Oh, hold on a second.
Time for the weirdest TPK ever.
All right.
No.
At this
So
point,
you surprise her, taking her off to the side, acting as her friend. You surprise her and hit her with Blood Fang. Go ahead and give me an initiative roll, and we will start
Friend.
actual combat.
Oh, well, I forgot to click on my token, but I also can't see my token, so there's that. It's hidden behind your fog.
Oh, this is in fog? Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute.
Oh,
That's hard
we're still in the tunnel. Or in
Oh,
the crypt.
okay. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, tell me where I'm at with her.
So, yeah, you are down off the map in this direction.
Okay. Put her to the side so that I can keep a hold of her there. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm over here.
Yeah, it's off. You're technically off the map. All right, you go first.
Yes. Alrighty. Alrighty. I am going to cast Exploding Blood. Which is Burning Hands, basically.
Okay.
Oh my god, my lungs.
Dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Oh
I'm
fuck.
pretty sure. Hold on. That's against my spell save DC, right?
Yes.
Okay,
half
so
damage.
it's so it's half. She
Okay.
saved.
Damage.
It's 11, so whatever half of that would be.
Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, here I am looking at it, and I thought that was Bloodfang. I was just looking at an old.
Fuck,
All
I
right,
wish it was
so-
Bloodfang.
Yeah. All right. All right. So she pulls out her whip and attacks, while giving you some long spiel about how she thought you were her friend and that she could trust you.
Well, I'm just gonna respond. I don't know why you would think that.
That's honestly kind of impressive in 6 seconds.
Jesus.
I'm busting out the glow sticks.
Core. I have specific thingies. I think I have it on here. I don't for some reason. Give me just a second to look at my stuff.
Okay.
I know that I've got 2 blood die. 13 plus my con, which puts me at 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, that hits.
All right.
Busting out the glow sticks.
For 7 points of damage.
Okay. I am, as a reaction, going to use Hellish Rebuke or Blood Rain, which does
Okay.
4 extra damage to her.
Glow stick time.
Let's make a dex save.
7, 8, 9. So that puts me at 2.
Hold on a second. She gets a dex save on that. All right, so that was successful. Creature must make a dex save on a failed or half as much. All right, so she takes 2 points of damage from that.
Fuck.
All right. Okay, so let's see here. All right, let's see here.
Oh, dang. I gotta fix that Hellish Rebuke to say necrotic.
She's going to cast healing, lay on hands on herself. Go ahead. Your turn.
Okay. Okay.
Is lay on hands
How
an
much
action?
did she heal for?
5 points.
Isn't lay on hands an action?
Yes. That was her.
Didn't she hit me?
Yeah, and then you used.
Hellish Rebuke is a
Wait,
reaction.
hold on a second.
Yeah, Hellish Rebuke's a
Oh,
reaction.
it's a react? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then in that case, it's still your turn.
And she didn't heal.
No, and she didn't heal. No.
Cool. I'm going to use Exploding Blood again.
Okay.
Lee, the forest isn't dry, and we're not going to start a big flame up.
Oh, this doesn't cause fire damage.
Yeah, hers is necrotic.
Yeah, I've got to edit the text for it now because I wasn't doing
Oh my
necrotic
god, I'm
damage
so
before.
sorry. Give me a moment.
That's still enough to kill her.
Hello.
Nice.
There we go.
I don't know if I'd pass Zump on the stairs, but is anyone screaming?
Well,
I feel like there
yeah,
would have been some noise.
you would. Yeah, as Zump left, But
Yeah, I'm
you
gone.
all, whoever was on next on the stairs, which I believe was Haseo, you do hear some loud noises coming off to the south from the southwest, and it sounds a lot like that halfling.
I am going to move close to where I think they might be in like earshot, and then try to stealth, or I'll just stealth over there.
Okay. All right, give me a stealth roll.
Such small text.
Is there any way with since the last one was a killing blow, is there any way that just for flavor I can walk up to her and put my hand over her mouth and cast the exploding blood?
Yeah, I'll allow that. Your finishing move. All right. By the time you get there, Haseo, you see that the halfling is on the ground, and Coat was bent over her, but she's now now she's standing up. But the halfling is not moving.
Is she technically making death savings, or I killed her?
I'm not making death saves.
Sweet. I was just gonna bash her with my stick until she was dead anyway. Does it count now?
Yeah, now it counts, yes.
Good.
I am. If she doesn't see me, I'm going to try to hide and just watch for a second.
Okay. All right, so what do you do next, Cal?
Oh, if he's watching, then just
You
so
don't
he
see
is.
him. You don't see his dex roll is higher than your passive.
Right. But since he is watching, even though I don't know that he's there, he would see. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it's up to you. Let me send you another message. So
Okay.
So it's up to you on whether or not that is seen.
Okay. Yeah, he'd probably see that, yes.
Okay. So then what you would see, Haseo, is like these tiny wraith-looking imp creatures like poof into existence, shove their hands like through her body. There's no like blood splatter. It's almost like a ghost reaching through a door. And then you see them grab out like, we'll say a light from inside of her body. And as quickly as they appeared, they vanish. And then I'm just going to like sit down on the ground because now I'm actually, for the first time in this campaign, fucked up.
I'm going to just start walking closer to her with my hands behind my back. I'm not trying to be stealthy.
All right.
Just looking at you. I'm not saying anything yet. Discord break?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Where is Ares' token on this map?
Very.
Oh, never mind. I found him. He blends in with the surrounding grass so well.
Oh God!
You're gone.
Yeah, I don't know where I went. I think I'm under you.
Oh, you're under me? I'll move. Yep, there you are.
Threat neutralized.
I am. If you don't see me approach, like if you're out of it, I'm just gonna walk up to you If you look up at me, I don't really stop walking. I go directly. I kneel down to you and I place my hand on your forehead and cast Healing Hands for 2 hit points to you. And I say we need to go return in what we found now. And you need to clean yourself up.
Bruh.
So at any point during this, would the others that are still down in the deep dark crypt with giant spiders that we don't really want to be in come up? And yeah.
By the time you get up, you see Ko and Haseo kind of talking to each other off in the distance. You don't see Zump.
Hey, you still here with me?
And you don't see the halfling either.
Well,
The only ones we see are those two. Let's head over that way.
With them walking, is there any way I can like make a perception check to see if I hear them walking towards me?
Oh, you can see them. None of them are being stealthy.
Oh, okay. Well, then, as soon as I see them, I'm going to look Haseo in his eye to let him know that I'm trying to convey something to him and just be like, I don't know what happened. She took off. I tried to catch her, and
I'll put my
she
finger
just
over
turned
your
around
mouth.
and attacked me.
I put my finger over your mouth, stand you up, and walk towards them to leave wherever you were just sitting.
I was going to say, we're only like 30 feet away.
Yeah, they're like
so-
right there. I was
Well, no.
purposefully, I can see them. I was purposefully having this conversation.
And they're not. They're a little. They're further off the map. They're not right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're like way past
I mean,
where the map is.
I can't do anything off the map, but they are off the map.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was purposefully having that conversation because I could see them approaching.
Do you look disheveled?
Oh, bitch, I have 4 health. Only because he healed me.
Holy shit. Okay. We got to
Oh
give the
my
halfling
God.
some credit there. She nearly kicked your ass. And,
She did.
and she's level 1.
If she had got that heal off, I think you would have lost.
I would have.
If she had been a level 2,
I would have.
What, you thought I, was
would've
kidding
done-
about the
I
world's
think-
strangest TPK?
yeah.
You thought I
Oh,
was
I-
fucking kidding?
If I saw the halfling drop Ko, I would have snapped her neck so fast.
I think all of us would have.
Let me engage this martial class in melee range. See how that works out.
As a spellcaster.
If
Oh
you
my
had
God.
not got your first secret attack off, you would have been dead.
Oh
Yeah, that too.
You're so lucky.
The secret attack that did 1 damage.
Yep.
Hey, that 1 damage matters. Because
Just like the points and whose line is it anyway?
I had a couple of other things that I could have used to try and save myself.
Yeah, like me when I showed up.
disengage, run away.
Well, if I'm walking up then and you look that disheveled, I'm just gonna be freaking out and, oh my God, what happened? What happened? You were fine, and now
I don't know. I was walking her to the road and she took off and I went to catch her and she turned around and attacked me. I had no choice.
That's what happens when you try to domesticate feral halflings.
That's one way to put it. Once close enough, seeing that she's all disheveled and everything, little buggy Zadman's gonna jump up from Talk, fly over, and basically act as the spell conduit for a cure wounds coming from Talk through Zad to Ko.
What the dog doing?
While she's talking to Jewel,
So I missed the conduit here from talk
So-
to.
With the homunculus servant, which is one of the
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. Now I got. I thought you said some or something along those lines, and I'm like, he's not here.
Zad
What
is
is
who he
that?
calls the guy.
Zad is the little Ant-Man.
Little Ant-Man. Yeah, it took me a second to remember that. Okay, that's fine.
Actually, I think Zad is literally Macedonian for ant. Now I think about it. I gotta re double check and see what his name actually means in Macedonian. I'm having a stroke. But we will go ahead and slap that cure wounds there. And I just realized I'm having a stroke and just forgot completely what the dice roll is for cure wounds.
1d8 plus your spellcasting ability.
Thank you.
Well, while she's talking to Jewel, I just want to try watch her expressions and what she's saying. To see what I think about what she's.
Is that going to be insight or investigation, though?
That's insight.
8 HP
You know
back
how
for Co.
Thank you.
Oh no, Eric. You gotta make them one.
Well, technically, oh.
Isn't
Meets it,
that
beats it,
a
doesn't
kick
it?
in the head?
So who
No,
wins if it's a meets a pizza?
Meats beats?
Beating meat. What?
Right, but who wins?
Or we
Eric
roll
or me?
again.
Ties go to the defender. She's defending her lie against your attack of insight. So Co wins.
Yes.
Would all three of us have to roll
Don't go to
insight?
the defender on armor.
Only if you thought I was lying.
Well,
yeah,
it's more so a matter
Harry
of
would have
whether
thought you
you're
were
lying.
lying.
Well, yeah, you overheard some conversations that I didn't know you overheard.
Yeah. Well, no. What I was saying was with the what's it called? With the if they think you're lying. Well, the thing is that if the lie is believable or not, and that there is a kind of low deception roll.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna roll insight, I think that I get to roll deception against each of you, don't I? Or no?
No. You make
Damn.
one deception. That's your deception to all those hearing.
Okay.
Don't worry, I have a shit wisdom.
Is this
But-
about this is about what you were just saying to me?
Yes.
This is gonna be the only nat 20 I get all night. Just watch. No. But
Well, I mean,
You're a bullshitter, Harry.
I'm not trying to fight against Aseo. All right. Well, Ari can't tell.
Ari doesn't know.
Jules can. Jules and Top can.
Well, all three, yeah. Jules, Haseo, and Sin, all Jules, yeah. Tak, Haseo, and Jules all realize that she's not being truthful. There's something's wrong with what she's saying. What it is, you don't know. But you know she's trying to cover something up.
Talk kind of pauses for a second and is just like stare. Can we see the body as well right now? Or
yes, oh yeah, it's she didn't move away from the body. It's Ash is right there.
Yeah, you guys came out
so-
too quick. I couldn't move.
So a mental question then from where they were standing. All right. So I'm gonna roll an investigation here, right? Because I'm trying to put this mental picture together in my head of positioning, of people positioning, you know, and it's like, first of all, why off in the woods instead of the road type deal, you know? Like just basically, would that just be another insight to see if you can make the connections of, hey, the positioning of where they were at when they were fighting doesn't make sense or something like that, you know?
So you're trying to like
Wait,
no, that's
do I by chance? Because Haseo's on my side, do I get another chance or advantage or something?
I am not trying to help you lie. I'd like to think I have your arm over my shoulder helping you, and I'm not stopping. I'm going back to town because you're fucked up.
I don't think so anymore. That eight
yeah,
HP.
no, I'm not fucked up anymore. I'm actually doing pretty okay now.
Yeah. Cure wounds with intelligence is a spellcasting ability. But would that be like investigation then, or
that would be investigation? Yes.
Okay. And the bonus to that is actually fucking decent. Hello there. Okay. Beginning
And I help
simulation
Top.
of combat. Okay.
If you want to help me, yeah.
How
Yeah.
does silvery barbs work? Is
I'll
it
help you.
only in attack mode or?
Oh, it looks like we're getting that 15.
Yeah, 15's the end result. So you can tell something, I mean, it doesn't look... Well, I'm trying to think. The business of the body...
Like, why would they be fighting off in the middle of the woods, basically, is like the main thing he's trying to piece together. Like,
I told you! She ran! I chased her! She attacked me!
but why would you
The
chase her
question
if we're
is,
just
why
trying to
would
let her
you
go?
chase her?
Considering the fact that
Yeah.
she's almost killed us several times inside of it,
Why
her
would
not
yeah,
going
exactly.
back
Why
to
would you
town
want to
is
be around
fishy.
that? Why would you want to stay around the person that almost killed you multiple times when we're just trying
So
to
that
get
she
rid of her?
didn't come back later and try and kill us.
Except she didn't do it on purpose. She did it because she was inept.
Do we know that? Did any of us ever roll an insight on that?
I think we did.
No.
I remember very specifically us yelling at her for being an idiot.
Yes. But did we ever roll an insight that she didn't want to kill us?
Talk's voice dropped for me. Well, it got lower.
Ah, yes, it's because I hit puberty.
When he leveled up.
Well, if I can, I'm still gonna try to just drag you back to town. Even if they're still talking to you, I might even pick you up if you resist me.
I mean, I'm not going to resist, but you could pick me up.
Sure.
Ooh.
Just
I
because
just
I'm
had
not
a thought.
actively hurt doesn't mean there's not blood all over me.
As a part
Yeah.
of investigation, so would Talk be able to tell that the first attack on whatever the fuck the halfling's name is? I'm drawing a blank right
Ash.
now. Ash. Ash, and she's dead. Would he be able to tell that the first attack was to her back? Since it was a sneak. Well, I'm assuming that was probably where you would attack someone from. Like, you wouldn't cast a spell point blank range from the front, because then it makes it clear that you're attacking them with a spell.
You're trying to do kind of like forensic. So give me a medicine roll.
Medicine, okay.
Yeah, which wound happened first?
Yeah.
Well, from natural order of
Cold
things.
stuff.
Well, I guess if she tried running away mid-combat, you'd be able to get a back hit in. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. It's quite possible that she
Robert
could have
Downey Jr.
attacked and then disengaged and ran. And that would be.
Let's
the
be honest.
cause.
I don't think she's smart enough to run away.
I don't know.
Let's be honest. She jumped into a pool of acid. It's clear she doesn't care about her own safety.
Let's also take this the other way and turn this a little bit, because this is what she was doing. She was rolling dice to see what her reaction would be. So it's very
Good
simple
point, yeah.
for her to just say, okay, on a 1 or 2, I run.
Here we go.
That's true. Okay, so
Holy shit.
question. At this point,
Good ass roll, Talk.
Talk is down there doing Sherlock Holmes investigation. I haven't moved, so I'm still down there as well. Is Haseo and Co, are they still there, or have they actually started walking away already?
No, I'm being carried.
Yeah.
Okay, so
she's
y'all are-
not, yeah. She's not moving under her own power. She's moving under Haseo's power. And Saseo has already stated that he's heading back into the heart of the
who's
town.
talking? I
Okay,
only
so
hear two
then
people
if
on
they've
Discord.
started walking away, I'm just going to look at Talk and say, she was so much smaller than Co. How did it get to this point? I don't understand. I mean, Co doesn't want to do anything without her bodyguard. Why would she chase someone that she knows is dangerous and then engage with that person
Something
without
is missing
Haseo
here.
there?
Look, Jewel, I don't appreciate your logic.
I like how you imply like church, almost as if you're not actually going to church, but like
Hey, I asked
Imperius
for a
is secretly
clarification.
visiting like a fucking brothel or something right now.
Hey, I asked for a clarification several months ago, which I have never received. I assume it is the church.
He walks in, there's like fucking nuns on stripper poles, and he's like,
What?
oh,
How did
fuck, I walked into the wrong church. But it is that time, I gotta pray. Praise be.
That is quite
What?
the leap.
Oh, Haseo doesn't hear
didn't
me?
Something I tell you that you don't really have a church, you have a shrine.
I was
Hello,
never.
Haseo?
I never received that information yet.
Okay, yeah, because
over text. I just assumed.
Yeah, your deity doesn't really have churches at all, because it's the lesson of change. So, but there are shrines dedicated to the change bringer.
Can you hear me now?
All right, we'll discuss how Acolyte works with that later then.
I
Yeah,
hear you. Whoever asked it, can you hear me now? I
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah, so it's just Haseo having problems hearing me?
You're a lot quieter now than you were earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds
on.
fine for me, but I'm not listening to you on Discord. So.
Oh, I know why. My dumbass, instead of hitting the mute microphone button on my fucking, what's it called? I think I hit the volume down.
I can hear everybody fine.
Am I louder now?
I can hear you fine, Joel.
I hear everyone fine.
How loud am I at this current moment? Same?
To me the same, but you sounded fine before.
Spiral,
How about now?
Harry, can you guys hear talk better?
I can hear him. I can hear him all the time.
I'm pressing a
just
button
got
on my
quieter.
headset and it's making a noise, but I don't know what it's
Yeah,
actually doing.
to me it sounds like him and Jayhoff are on the other side of the room.
I am on the other side of the room.
Damn volume problems.
kinda
Maybe
gay.
see if you accidentally adjusted your volume.
That's what I'm thinking.
I've
maybe.
been checking all mine.
Restart your phone.
According to this, I can only make my input a little bit louder. And I'm going to tell you now, I feel like that's a mistake for everyone else's hearing. I am not quiet.
To me, it sounds like the voice mod went off. Not that I'm complaining.
I'm not
he
running
hasn't been
voice
using
mod.
the voice mod.
Yeah, it's not even running through voice mod right now. I am. Ooh, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Try this now. We are adjusting my input sensitivity for voice activity, which might be the problem.
No.
Am I loud? Here we go. Check,
No.
check.
There we go.
That was not the issue.
It worked for Spiral, it seems.
It was either him
Anyhow.
restarting or...
Technology is amazing, isn't it?
Man, if it wasn't the fact that computers make everything so much easier, I would love to just light a bunch of them on fire. I know it sounds really violent, but like legitimately, computers literally work off of the fact that we made up numbers and for some reason the math works. But so just a quick synopsis then of what's happening, Haseo, now that you can hear me. Tox basically Sherlock's Holmesing the fucking body at this moment because he's like, something's wrong here. What the fuck happened? And he's kind of like looking around like, the location doesn't make sense.
I heard that part.
Oh, okay. So it was
It
just quiet.
It sounds like you're on the other side of the room, but it's better now.
That's what happens when you're investigating a body. You usually do it from the other side of the room.
Immersion.
If I become a druid, my hand's going to be in front of the computer instead of just my whole body. That way I'm like a snake. But so with that 18, is Tak able to realize anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that one out. Given that,
Oh, great.
no, I'm going to say no, because it all happened in the course of.
No, I can't hear the DM.
Oh, no.
Well,
Can you hear me
watch
now?
my stream and see if you can hear him.
When Jules phrases her question to Talk, I'll interject that you would be surprised at what Power asked you to do.
Where are you in relation to where we're standing, Ari?
Ari's with Jules.
Oh, I
And
was
Talk.
looking at your token. I thought you were really far away. Okay, well then I would have phrased that question to both of you guys.
And he'll just respond that the search of power can be very deadly.
Ooh, well, I'll tell you what. So the way exploding blood works is it is technically an area attack. So there would be a 15-foot area affected, not just.
Grass
that
doesn't
doesn't-
have blood.
Well, no, exploding blood is
necrotic
an attack
damage.
that comes from them. So
Yeah, it's necrotic.
That's a
So the
joke.
way that my exploding blood works is that, let me scroll down
instead
to
of
it real quick. 'cause I
burning
gotta
things and
edit.
whatnot, it's decay,
It decays, yes.
Right.
which
and then
you
on
would
top
still
of
notice
that,
on grass.
yeah, and on top of that, basically what happens is I
Wait,
have
we
to
just-
touch the creature. So I touch the creature, and then what happens is like this almost string webbing shoots between any creature that's within that 15-foot cone, and then basically explodes their blood veins.
I mean, that's terrifying.
She looks fucked up on the ground.
Yeah, but the main point is that it is necrotic and a decay. After we just got out of a crypt where
I
we
mean,
used
I didn't
fingers
say
to open the doors.
I didn't say I didn't attack her.
No, but the key point I'm trying to make is you were the one who or I guess actually I don't remember who inevitably figured out that the fingers work in the door holes. But
I think
we did
Ari
just
figured it
emerge
out
from
and
a
handed it to
place
me.
from what
no,
is
no, no.
clearly an evil necromancy cult to find dead person up top, surrounded from decay, like necromancy spells.
Oh, I see. So now we're assuming that I'm the reason for the hole.
You guys are nowhere
It is
near
a
each other.
potential-
I'm
Stop-
participating
Stop
in the CSI.
metagaming.
I'm
Stop
participating in the
metagaming.
CSI.
Ari cannot move himself. Ari followed Jewel and Talk,
We are.
but Ari cannot physically use this app on the phone.
All right.
We'll just have to quiz them on it later because something seems up and there's details here that aren't adding up, but I can't exactly put. But purely for the point of me not going too deep down the rabbit hole, because technically speaking, with Robo Brain, the problem is that all possibilities could be considered, and there's a lot of fucking possibilities based on the very vague set of circumstances, and we're not going to spend the entire session investigating those because I want to be Robo Man. We're just going to say Talk's like, okay, there's clearly something else going on here. There's too many possibilities for a different situation than what was described, and it's clear something isn't correct about the story we're given. We'll have to quiz them on it. But there's definitely... And he'll kind of like look over to Jewel and Ari and be like, it isn't just me, right? I'm not just being
The
overly
child is
facetious.
hunting power. She's just hunting it in dangerous places.
Just remembered that Talk does not have the best wisdom, so I don't know if you would actually understand that phrase.
You know, maybe we're just all really, really tired from having this multi-day, exhausting adventure.
Ari will pull back one of his sleeves, and you'll see severe burns all the way up his arm. And he'll go, when people want power, they'll do anything they want to get it. Even
It'll
when
be
they
something to
harm
keep an
others.
eye on. Wait,
Let's get
where's
a drink.
Imperios?
I cannot do any more of this. Oh, God.
What if there's two bodies? What if that was the lie?
Konica threw him in the hole.
That's a very good point. We don't know where Zimperius is.
Now I'm
that
just a
is-
serial
we saw
murderer.
Zimperius come out, we know Zimperius went out before Haseo, but we come out, no sight of Zimperios, and there was supposedly a fight. Oh no! Hold on. Wait a second. Maybe we are going in this rabbit hole.
Realistically,
Can we screen flip to me real quick?
realistically, we'd probably be starting to search for him.
Yeah, because
At the same time, I just want to drink at this point.
hey, we got one in that little fountain down underground. We already had a drink. You're good.
I
The
mean,
alcohol-
Three
kind.
people will supposedly die tonight if you guys don't stop making me a serial murderer.
where is Imperios?
Well, to be fair, you're only just a
mean,
murderer right now. You're not
listen.
a serial murderer.
Ko, you saw him go a specific direction. If you do not tell us that
I'm
you
fine,
saw
already
I'm
left.
not there.
she's already
You want
left.
me to- You're asking the air.
Okay, yep. Well, I guess that means we're searching for him then, because we don't know where the fuck he is, and there's just been a murder, and the only person that would have seen you two together is missing.
Don't worry, I have a plan. I have a plan. Never
Sorry,
mind.
I had to step away real quick.
Plan.
Welcome back.
Oh, welcome back. We'll catch you up. Apparently, I killed Zump too.
Yeah, I caught that part. I think I walked away when Talk said we're going to go down that rabbit hole. That's what I thought.
Yeah, no, I was just explaining
I
it
did
like
not sign up for this.
Well, he gave us a warning before we started that he has a lot of energy.
to be fair, I
Talk's
didn't
got an
sign up for
Energizer
this
battery.
either, but I was also expecting the halfling to run away and not get murdered.
So we're searching for Zump. How
All right.
do we? What are we? Are
Purely
we just?
because Zump isn't here, and we were like, well, she's lying about something, and Zump came out before Haseo,
Right.
and let's be honest, with her ineptitude, perhaps there's doubt in just the halfling being able to do that damage to Ko. What if it was Zump fighting back? And
All right.
Oh my
Whoever
god.
something
is
happens.
searching, make a survival roll.
Oh,
Oh.
mercy!
wait, hold on. Survival. Oh no, we're about to have problems here. Oh,
Thank
we're
you for
gonna have
getting that
problems
reference.
here.
That's real bad.
The moment when the robot becomes convinced that Kodaka is a serial murder, part one.
Ari finds Zump's tracks quickly and sees that they are going in the opposite direction.
Are they going towards town?
Yes.
Are they going towards a tavern?
Well, you're not following them. You just know that they're going in the direction back
Well-
into town.
Is the tavern the same direction as everything else in town?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just go get a pint. And maybe he will be there. And I just need a drink. And then I'm
We'll-
just gonna
we'll
start
just-
walking towards town.
There's no more details to be gathered here. Screw it. My body hurts. He's still at
Alright.
half health. I think we're leaving.
All right. So does everyone head back further into town?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I
have
am
no
not
choice.
stopping until I have a pint in my hand.
Talk is now a conspiracy theorist.
I think me and Ko had enough time to grab some dinner.
Possibly. I don't know. It depends how long you take to carry her.
Hey, I'm pretty
She's
light.
She's a feather.
All right. So
Your weight might be light, but your soul
what
sure
map
isn't.
do you guys see?
Shade Fall City map.
So you see the whole city.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. I will be right back in a second.
Perfect. I'm gonna go pee.
I'm gonna go phone the police. There's been a murder.
There's a missing persons report.
It's nice to
I
have
don't
an
see how
episode-
no one's
It's nice having
no one's speaking. Well, we constantly taunted this halfling, and mainly Kodak, and maybe the halfling's like, I had enough of this shit.
Yeah, but the thing is to be fair though, there was enough kind of. Well, first of all, a good portion of it was either out of character or away from her, that it wouldn't have been that big of a problem. And also, I feel like of the people to be the most mad at to attack, I feel like it would have been Talk. Because Talk basically fucking short bullied her multiple times. Like, yeah, sure, he didn't intend to, but fucking literally using the crowbar to hoist her off the ground, fucking chucking her around to make sure she'd stop fucking, like, literally just lifting her off the fucking ground so that she would stop opening shit. Like, screaming
Yeah,
at
she
her.
said she didn't really like you that much. You helped her, and she's like, put me down.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
the
I feel like
number
of
one-
the people to attack, it probably would have been
Mhm.
Talk, oddly enough. The one person who was probably the most adamant about, let's not waste life now, guys. Let's just let her go.
The one thing that is just stuck with me is Code didn't do anything for herself. Like, she wanted Hiseo there for everything, and Hiseo was always
Yeah.
trying to get in between them. And then for her to take someone that we know is dangerous without him being near her,
And then
to-
almost get her ass beat.
yeah, that's just
That is
doesn't-
frightening, because that means that for whatever reason, the character was totally capable of actually dishing some shit out.
If this paladin had divine smite, Ko would be a bloody dead female on the ground.
We just made a
If
really
that
big mistake.
paladin
I just
had a
realized.
freaking axe.
We just left that body next to
Yeah,
a
she
place
had a
that
normal weapon.
Yeah, but we just left that body literally next to a place where there were dead raising up. That fucking halfling's coming back as a vengeful spirit. I'm fucking calling it. I'm
back.
telling you now. We just fucking
Welcome back.
It was literally like killing like
We didn't
over an
burn the
Indian
body
burial
anything.
ground. Like we disturbed the fucking dead.
We
This is
didn't
how we
bury
become
her,
the
we
secret
didn't
big bad
burn
evil
her.
guys. It is for all intents and purposes murder. And
All right, Jeff.
on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
how
Where-
fucked are we?
Where are we?
Okay, so
Hell.
out here is where you guys were. This is the East Ward. This entire ward here is kind of falling down on itself.
The
That's where
disarray.
you guys were. That's where the crypt is located.
Where did I kill her?
There.
Out there, yeah. Like I said,
Okay.
it's falling down. There's brush. The trees are growing. You know, there's nothing stopping nature from reclaim at this point in time. There's nothing stopping nature from reclaiming this area.
Okay.
Let's see.
Except for the Restless Dead we just released. Uh-oh.
Okay, so Zump, you went down here. This is where most of the temples and shrines are located at this time.
Okay.
So that's where you were.
Should we swing by Ziggy's, or are we just heading straight for a drink, by the way?
I'm not there, but I would not go anywhere without Zump.
Well, I don't know where he went.
That was a strange cough. My apologies.
I mean, I know we need to find Ziggy, but I'm going for a drink, and there's every possibility he could.
Look,
He could.
I
be
just
in
want to
the
say,
library.
considering the fact that you guys think that I killed Zump, maybe go find Zump. Tweet.
Yeah.
He was walking in that direction.
But what if he got murdered further on?
Yeah, I left before you. Maybe I killed him
Nope.
after. You don't know now.
Yeah, I was stabbed by
having a
bandits off
full-on-
screen.
This
I'm
is
having-
CSI Veranar.
Full-on PTSD from the spiders. I am out now, and I am getting a drink.
Talk's
I
just
don't
trying to
care
nudge. It's like,
if you
no,
killed
don't. We don't want to
Ziggy.
start having to send you to AA meetings.
I don't care if you killed Zump and Ash and Ziggy. I don't care.
Okay, you know that
Oh, she's
Ziggy's
a real friend.
place of business is in the artisan block, so he's over here.
Oh, so
And he's
that's
at work.
distance. Or actually, yeah, he might be back at the tavern. That is a good point. He
In the
could be
mulberry.
back at the tavern because he comes over there and scribes on the books a lot. So actually, going to the tavern might be a smart decision. But we also do think Zump may have possibly been murdered. And Zump did help out Jewel and Talk, especially. Oh my god,
We
I
didn't
just now
think Zump
realized.
was going to be murdered.
And the tavern, Willick's
He had
Tavern,
footsteps going in the other
Willick's
direction.
Inn,
So
is
he
in
clearly
here
walked off away from
with
him.
the temples.
Oh, so the
So we're gonna
tavern
pass
and
it
the
anyways.
temple are in.
Are in the
Okay.
same. Yeah, they're in the same district.
We have to pass by the tavern before we get to Ziggy's. We can look for Zump in his little, tabernacle, and we can still get a drink on our way to Ziggy's.
Actually, you know what? Sometimes temples have wine for religious reasons. I can't remember what they are. I'm rebooting.
Why?
I had to make a callback to an old joke. But so Talk's still kind of processing information, so he's a little bit all over the place at the moment. Just occasionally being like, what if this is what happened?
I have
Maybe
not even
this.
stopped moving to entertain this conversation.
No, he's moving and talking. He's still trying to keep an eye on you because obviously it's like, hey, if she murdered two of them, if we separate, what if she murders three?
She didn't murder two of them. We know that Zamperios walked the other direction, away from where she was when we found her. He is not dead.
You
Unless
don't even know I murdered her.
You
we know you're
Reboot.
lying about something.
reboot
About
robot.
something.
But what is there to
Oh,
lie about in that context?
where are you and Hiseo going?
I just asked him, but he never responded. I assume that we're going back to our room in the tavern.
Okay, so you're going back to the tavern. Okay.
Well, Talk is the one that has all the books because he was the one that had the unlimited carry.
Yeah.
Right.
Robo
Well, they
Man.
didn't say they were looking for Ziggy. They just said they were going back to the tavern. And given that it's mid-morning, between morning and noon at this point, Ziggy
Breakfast?
probably isn't at the tavern anyway. Is your thoughts? He does have his own storefront that he does have to take care of, so most likely that's where you believe he would be anyway.
To be fair,
And
we've also
Ziggy's
had
was-
nothing but rations for a while.
Ziggy's was on the way to the tavern, right?
No.
The tavern is on the way to Ziggy's.
It's exactly. So you guys you started in the East Ward. Ziggy's is in the Artisan block. The tavern and the temples where Zump are in the central row.
No, let's go that way.
I was gonna say, now that I think about it, it's like nobody's had like proper hot food in what 2 days? That's still a lot. Like,
Or proper ale.
I will say, Talk, if
Well,
we
Zump shares.
turn all the books in, we can afford to eat and drink whatever we want.
I hate to say, but I think us robbing the crypt gave us a lot more money than this job actually gave us. Oh my fucking god! I just now, what the? Yeah, no, we're fine. We are good. We could legitimately not turn in these books, and we still would have made profit much
I
more
will
so
not
than
be
just.
fine until I get some ale.
Don't worry, Jewel. We'll get you your ale. You shall be fine. There are no giant spiders up here.
I just picture of the three of you walking along. Jules got that got to go to the bathroom kind of little jog walk going. But instead of the bathroom, she's headed right for the tavern.
Jewel, you might want to go easy on the alcohol. That way you'll have your wits around Coke.
She can't be worse than the spiders. Actually, you know what? I take that back. That bitch didn't save me from the damn spiders when she had the chance. It's her fault too.
You're right. What
And
if
now-
she tried murdering you then?
At this point, everything is making me angry. I am just frustrated.
Let's-
I am
we
over
have
it.
money. Let's get you a drink. You shall be fine,
All right.
June. You just need to calm down.
You three arrive at the tavern at Willick's End. The main room's kind of empty. There's only the family is cleaning up from breakfast, but there's really nobody in the tap room right now. You don't even see Hiseo or Kodaka in the room.
I'm just gonna.
I go to the bar for a mega pint of wine.
Okay.
Mega pint of wine.
So talking to Ko, I am trying to fix up her visually and probably saying that all of the clothes she's wearing has blood on it, and I say that has to go.
I just cast prestidigitation on him.
You magic users.
You see a woman doing a potty dance, half beaten to death robot, and short man tired from keeping up with the giant robot, tall robot, not tired robot, tall robot.
Yeah, the man at the bar, he's like in his 40s. He looks kind of tired, but he does his best to put a smile on because now he's got customers, and he kind of looks at the three of you and just goes, "On the house."
I'm gonna look deep into his eyes and just like he has just birthed my child for me. And just say,
Spoon,
thank you.
Spoon, you know the
Good
words that are
sir.
about to come out of my mouth. If you had tits, I'd wife you.
Spoon,
Who
you gotta
educated you,
put that on
peasant?
your soundboard.
Say what?
You gotta put that on your soundboard. If you had tits, I'd wife you.
If you had tits, I'd wife you.
Oh god. Talk's still gonna slip him like 3 or how expensive would the drinks that he's passing out be normally?
I mean, it's not the high quality inn, so I'd say probably about 5 copper.
We're gonna give him a gold because we've got money to throw around at this point, and it feels kind
Just
of
keep
dirty.
keep them coming. Keep them
Yeah.
coming.
We're gonna slap him a gold and just say, "Hey, look, man, it's been rough."
We own you now. Where's the keg?
You now.
I am not interested in buying slaves. Thank you very much.
You put the gold down, and he kind of turns his head to the back and says, "Hey, Zamelia, 3 breakfasts."
Wait, Zam?
Zamelia.
Oh,
Zamelia.
I got really confused.
Guest star, mom.
Ari,
We
you told me
wish.
your wife was going to be here for this session.
Right?
A couple minutes
I
later,
said it would be one or the other.
a woman comes from the back. She's a female elf. She kind of just smiles at the barkeep, heads over to your table, and puts down 3 plates of eggs with some bread and some sausage.
As she puts down the plate, I'm just gonna grab her hand and look at her very deeply in her eyes as well, like I haven't eaten in 3 weeks. So very dramatically, just say, "Thank you."
She takes her other hand, pats your hand, and says, "It's all right, dear."
Now, I know I do not require food, but you physically cannot stop me from shoving this in my mouth.
I just want to know where it comes out.
Yeah.
I just want to know where it comes out in the end.
How does it come out in the end? Is it like a little cube like Bender does?
Drop some metal ingot.
Is it like compact cubed meat that's re-edible?
I don't think you want to eat it after it goes through talk. That sounds like a good way to fucking poison yourself. Congrats, you've done the equivalent of drinking gas.
All right.
So you shit bombs, is what you're telling me.
No.
Oh.
We're just gonna say it's like a fucking combustion engine, perhaps. That just kind of
It just burns up.
yeah.
All right.
As you're
So
sitting there eating and drinking, you see Haseo come in.
Well,
I have questions, but you're going to wait for a moment.
how is she?
she's sleeping.
What happened?
Yes.
I wish I knew. I didn't get there in time.
She never goes anywhere without you, though. I don't understand.
Well, she seems to get along with you. Maybe you can find out.
Something clearly happened. We are not getting the full story.
I didn't take the halfling to be that vengeful, because
If anything, I would assume she would have hated me. She was nothing but rude to me. After I saved her no less than 3 times? We will say 3 to be safe.
Is there a bottle close enough for me to grab?
If not, we got the money to get one.
yeah.
I was gonna say, what kind of bottle? I mean,
Of anything.
just what you just have the whatever container that you chose to drink, like a glass for the wine, a mug for the ale, but you don't have a bottle of that stuff. No.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask for a bottle of something, anything. I don't even care what it is to take with me.
Okay.
And
He
a plate
turns
of
around,
food.
grabs the first thing that he gets his hands on.
That's fine. And some food. And I'm gonna take it to Co.
Okay. All right, you'd have to
Are you
wait either.
knocking or walking in?
I'm sorry.
I was asking her if she was knocking or just walking in.
You first off, she has to wait a couple minutes while the food's prepared,
Oh, okay.
and then that's up to her. So with bottle and plate in hand, what do you do?
I'm gonna grab everything. I'll walk over to where their room is. Just let out a heavy sigh and knock. And then just kind of whisper like through the door. Kodaka! Are you awake?
Because I was not actually sleeping. I literally had taken off my entire disguise because I sent him to get a fucking wash basin.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know if I got it in time. Jewel moves fast.
You're coming up behind Jules with it.
Okay, so
Do
then
you respond?
I'm in a panic, going to like look around the room and be like, how fucking quick can I put all this back on? Yeah, I'm awake. I'm gonna run over to the door and just like lean as much as my tiny body weight against it, so that she can't just walk in.
I'm changing.
Was trying to come in, so as soon as I feel resistance, I'm gonna like freak out and think that something's happening. Like she collapsed onto the door and like start pushing harder. Co,
I'm
are you
going
okay?
to
Are you okay?
Fight.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
Wait. I'm going to try. If I see you reach for the doorknob and you're inside, I'm going to try to step of the wind to either tackle you or move your hand.
Tackle!
No. Okay.
With a tub?
This isn't
Yeah, with a
helping
tub.
things.
I dropped it. I'm dropping it.
This isn't helping things with the fact that there is the potential that we think she's done something wrong, and immediately her bodyguard comes out of nowhere to tackle one of our other.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Jules,
just
you hear a loud thump and a splash of a lot of water on the floor, and all of a sudden Haseo is almost on top of you.
Oh Jesus!
What
Do I
the
hear that through
hell,
the
Jose?
door?
What the hell is
Excuse me.
You can see.
Were
Cody,
you
can
invited
see
in?
it.
You told me to come talk to her. You told me that she likes me and that I should come to. What is wrong with you?
Oh my god.
I brought liquor.
I open the door. I'm just gonna open the door.
Okay.
I let out a deep sigh.
Just look down at it and say, I'll be like, would you get off of her, Jesus? Or
No,
whatever
I'm
Jesus
not-
is in this game.
What you see at the door is a elf equivalent of Ash. It turns out Ash, the halfling, was just a doppelganger, but really shit.
So
Even funny.
I'm curious, did the food and the drink survive the tackle?
Look, I didn't specify. If anything, I was going to grab her wrist or get in front of her.
You did say tackle,
You said
You did say
tackle.
tackle.
I gave multiple options.
but the first words you said were tackle.
Yeah, the first words I heard were tackle.
Sure.
So the food and the drink, does any of it survive?
Is she
Nope.
dexterous
No.
enough
No,
to
the
be
food
like,
does
God.
not. The food gets scattered. The drink, because you did specify a bottle, it's still intact because it's got a cork stopper on the top of it, and it's still intact.
I'm gonna lean down, grab the bottle, and then smack Haseo in the shoulder as hard as I can.
I'm going to hit you back.
oh Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Where are you
So
hitting me, and
TPK
how are
is
you
right.
hitting me?
Zump has
I am
premonition.
going to try to kick your feet out from under you so it's more of a trip.
The rest
Okay.
of us see a bunch of water coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Wait your
So-
turn.
Yeah, wait your turn. Water hasn't gotten there yet.
So you're.
I'm just going to try and trip you.
My playful hit, you responded with kicking my feet out from under me after you just tackled me.
Haseo was a
Okay,
bully.
so
He's
Jeff,
clearly
I'm
never
not sure what to
interacted
do
with him.
here to find out if do I fall.
Sayo, give me an
It's
attack
up to you
roll
if you.
with advantage.
Oh, I'm going for like a knock prone or something.
Right. I understand. Give me an attack roll with advantage. Just an unarmed attack.
Hey, here's
Okay,
something
yeah.
for you, Haseo.
All right, yeah, Jules. He's successful in knocking your legs out from under you.
Okay,
Okay,
can I
so-
just interject for a moment, step between them, and like put my hands up to Haseo and just say, stop!
You're out in the hallway now?
Well, yeah, you've given me no choice!
All right, I'm gonna bite his ankle. He knocked me on the ground. I'm biting his
All right.
ankle.
All right, give me an unarmed attack with advantage. All right, yes,
That is.
you bite his ankle.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna try and push him into the room and then help her up and try and get her to go into the
Okay.
room too.
Everyone downstairs hears the kerfluffle upstairs.
Do I do any damage to his ankle?
Were you trying to?
Yeah,
Yes.
were you trying to?
Heck yes, he just tackled me and then knocked my feet out from under me.
Okay, Haseo, you take 1 point of damage.
Thank you.
I am going to leave the tavern and wait right outside of it.
Outside the tavern, you're gonna leave me alone looking
After
the way I
beating
look.
the shit out of
Yep.
one, it's like, I'm here to do aggravated assault. Okay, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Okay, so question.
At this point in time, the innkeeper is coming around from the from the other side of the table, and he's like very concerned about what's going on downstairs or upstairs.
I'm sorry. I think we need another plate of food.
He hasn't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Talk's certainly following because given everything else. that
Ari
you just
will tell the innkeeper, you wait here, we've got this.
He stopped
we?
for a moment, and then he's like, "All right, you take care of it." And he heads back.
No
Mumbling.
problem.
He heads back into the kitchen, mumbling.
So, Ko, when you opened the door, did you have your disguise back on?
No.
Okay, so since I got tackled and then knocked to the ground, this is probably the first time I've been able to look at you.
Yep.
What do I
Look-
see?
So
From the viewpoint of the floor.
no, I dragged her into the room, and this time I locked the fucking door behind me. So what you see is that I don't have short white hair. My hair actually goes a bit past my shoulders, probably mid backish. It is braided in two separate colors. One side is an emerald green, the other side is white. The braids kind of make it easier for me to put the wig on instead of just having my hair loose because it's easier to tuck into it. But you also see that my entire upper half of my torso is wrapped in these bandages, and just a little bit on the back bandage on the right side, there is a little bit of blood going through it, and just over top of it, you can make out like some sort of scar, but because it is mostly covered by the bandage, you can't technically see what the scar is. I do not have a fully finished version of what this picture is actually going to be, but I will give you what I currently have because she just hasn't finished it yet.
Oh my god, Ashlyn took her kidney.
Do you sound the same? Is your voice the same?
My voice is still the same.
Okay. So
Not a
you
skinwalker. Nice.
you drag me into the room by my leg, by my hand. Am
I would
still on the
say that I
ground?
scooped my hands underneath of your like armpits and kind of like dragged you in.
Oh, come
Okay.
on. Grabbing her by the ankle would have been hilarious.
So I'm dragged into this room. You immediately lock the door. I already think that you might be a killer. Out of the two of you, the one that I trusted more so, just attacked me twice. Now I'm locked in here with a stranger that has scars and bandages and crap all over them. I'm screaming loudly.
That's fair. Just know I look absolutely terrified because nobody has seen what my actual appearance looks like in over a year.
I don't
You wonder
know
what
who you
happens when
are.
300.
You don't. That's
Top
fair.
you
I look
and-
terrified.
I
Top,
am
you and
screaming.
Ari hear the screams.
So,
Todd?
you guys ever wonder what happens when 310 pounds of metal hits a door that, on average, weighs around? I legitimately pulled up a table for this, by the way. A oak door that is
Todd.
24 inches by 80 inches is on average 39 pounds. What happens when a 310-pound robo-man hits a 39-pound door?
I don't know, but if the rolls are any indication, probably not much.
Todd, battering ram mode.
Activate. I catapult myself through the door. Here we go.
All right. Strength check with advantage.
Hell yeah. Knock, knock, you about to get shell shocked. Breach and clear, breach and clear. That's one.
That's one.
Come on, God. You know you want to give me that fucking nat 20 for hilarity. That's not a nat 20. You lied to me.
Should have prayed to the change bringer.
The 16 is good enough to break the lock.
Still, that's not bad with a 16.
Here's Talkie. But so Talk's just full on just
as you're
Outfit,
sitting
it's
there,
also not done.
Top busts through the door.
And I'm yelling, "That's not Konica!
Oh,
She killed Konica!"
Are you actually shouting she killed
Yeah,
Kodaka?
that's it. I'm screaming.
I
"That's
am
not Kodaka.
still
She
looking
killed Kodaka."
terrified.
Well,
Even more so, because now my fucking bodyguard's fucked off.
okay.
Harry, what are you doing in this mess?
Ari, probably looking up, going, well, that's interesting.
Oh my god.
Should we roll insight to see if we realize, like, oh hey, it turns out Kodaka's had like this disguise on this entire time. We just
Yes.
never realized. Okay.
Yes.
My
I
fucking
think
facial features have not changed.
Yeah, her face hasn't changed. So, insight with advantage.
Insight with advantage. Okay. I'm gonna warn you now. I get no bonuses. So these are flat d20s, and it's not looking good. Hey,
hold on.
God.
I'm having trouble.
there
Roll 20.
we go.
If that's not Kodaka, she has a identical sister.
No, don't say that. No. Don't.
Make your robo harem later. Talk to her.
Is there like a table
Very-
or desk or something in this room?
Hold on. Aries having problem with.
Okay,
with roll
so is
20.
this what was he wanting me to roll?
Insight with advantage.
Insight with advantage, yes.
There's a table or desk in this room. I just want to like have my back towards it, like backing as far away from them as possible
That's
with my
fine.
hands up.
All right, both Talk and Ari realize that, as I said, if this isn't Kodaka, she's got an identical twin sister.
Okay, but so the other question I have is Jewel like visibly beaten up, by the way, after what Haseo fucking did?
No, because he wasn't
Okay.
attempting to.
I wasn't trying to do any damage.
But I got food all the heck over me.
Yeah,
Ari will go, Jewel.
And my wine, because I had my cup in my hand too.
Okay.
So the
Ari will
only thing
go,
that really got
Jewel.
hurt is her pride.
Okay.
Jewel.
But still, given the circumstance, it's like Talk's not gonna draw weapons or anything, but he's gonna kind of look and be like, that is Kodaka. But we need an explanation. Now,
Wait one.
something was not
Wait
true
one.
earlier. We need an explanation. Because otherwise there's a lot of other questions that are being left unanswered that we cannot leave unanswered.
What do you mean that's
We
Kodaka?
need-
That doesn't look like Kodaka.
The face is
Calm
the same.
down,
Don't worry about it.
Jewel. Open the bottle, start drinking. Trust me.
Facial recognition software. Facial recognition software reveals that that is indeed Kodaka, just with
I am Kodaka.
without a disguise.
What
But
the hell happened to you?
Like, look around the room, Jewel. You'll see her outfit. It's scattered around the room. You'll see things like makeup kits and things. She's pretending to be somebody else. Now we need to know why.
This is bullshit.
Have another drink.
okay, but Talk's just kind of he's putting himself between the two at the moment because it's still like, I mean, one of them was screaming bloody murder a second ago, and given what happened before and the fact that we know Kodaka was lying about something else besides obviously now the disguise nature, he's kind of putting himself in the middle and just goes, explanation, time equals now.
I'm just gonna kind of like slump a little bit and look at the ground. Look,
Have a seat, Co. Have a seat. Sit down. We'll all sit down. Let's talk it out.
I sit as far away from them as possible because I've never been in this vulnerable of a situation since the monks found me. And Haseo is still fucking gone. So I'm sitting as far away from them as possible in this room.
And don't worry, Talk's photographic memory will come in handy later.
Yes.
Look, as you can see, I have a disguise. But it wasn't to, like, deceive you guys for any particular reason, especially just as a more so everyone. I'm not something people want existing.
Why?
And so to stay alive, I have to hide.
Was Ash one of those people?
Yes.
Deception.
What do you think you are?
Hold on, let me get my deception.
Oh, yeah, I'm not fucking passing that. Bro, I get no bonuses to my fucking insight. Like, it'd be an active. Yeah, nah, I'm fucking believing that.
Yeah,
shit,
if there's
bro.
no bonuses, you can't top 21.
Yeah. Not even a nat 20 will help me. And Lord knows I'm not getting another one of those tonight.
What do you think you are, Co?
The way that my father explained it to me, and mind you, I wasn't aware of this until recently. Things went really crazy like a year and a half ago.
Be more specific.
Now is not the time for vague.
Look, a year and a half ago, I was just a noble's daughter, basically being trained to eventually be the wife of some fucking blubbering idiot that expected me to just sit around and give birth to heirs, and nothing more was expected of me other than that. And then one day, it all changed. My father said that we had to go into a room that was completely off limits, but by that time I was the only one in the family who wasn't allowed in there. And that's when I found out that my entire family is apparently blood mages. It is not something I knew about. It is not something I asked for. It was just kind of forced on me. And then shit hit the fans before anything finished. And now I have no idea what's happening.
What would I need to roll to know about them?
Well, everybody has heard rumors of the blood mages. They're not looked down upon as harshly as necromancers, but they're certainly on the same, they're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, well, given my master was a necromancer, what would I roll to have a little more insight on what she's into?
Arcana?
Arcana, yeah. All right.
Well, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. You basically know everything there is to know about blood mages. Probably read a book. Your master probably had a book or two about them. Shoot, let me get.
Howard, you said your ritual went wrong. What happened?
The undead attacked in the middle of it. Basically, what my father explained to me is that you get these runes carved into your body to the point of bleeding out. A fiend is supposed to come and make a pact with you, and somebody is supposed to be there to make sure that they don't step over their bounds. But then we got attacked before that ever happened, and I started bleeding out after I had already run away. There was no supervision with the fiend, and I had no idea what or how that is supposed to work. And the next thing I know, I woke up covered in bandages at Haseo's monastery. And
Do you remember the demon?
the
Do you remember your
fiend?
deal?
I do. I have the contract. I can't read some of it, but I have the contract.
Perhaps.
What language, by chance, would it be in?
Well, the part that I can read, give me a moment, let me double check. I think the part that I can read is Abyssal.
Is any of it in Infernal, by chance?
It is. That's what I can't read.
I can.
I will hand the contract over to him since he can read it.
All right.
Can you read Abyssal?
Do not believe so. I can read the Infernal.
I can
Okay.
read the Abyssal.
Oh,
Then I will
I can read the header.
send D&D contracts. Abyssal. Give me a second. Let me send this to you. That's the Abyssal. Oh wait, hold on. Let me delete that one because I have these specifically separated. So this, which one is this? Is this the Infernal? Yeah. Okay, and then this one is the Abyssal. So here's the one that's an Abyssal, and then Airy, if you cannot see it because of your phone, let me know and I'll read to you what the Infernal part says.
Or did you send it?
I sent it on Discord. And if it's too hard to read for either of you, let me know. I'll just read it.
This one's actually in.
Yeah,
can
the
read
top
the-
half of it's in Abyssal. The bottom half of it is what's in Infernal, which
So the
should
top
be for
half-
you in English.
Top half says, "This contract binds Kodaka Raja and the Herald of Blood into a deal of chosen escalation for the total of 1 lifetime until the contract terms have been met. Upon agreeing to and signing this contract, Kodaka is bound to their agreed obligations and parameters within the pact. Pay back the debt by sending 50 humanoid creature souls that fell by Kodaka's own hand to the Herald of Blood, which will be collected by one of his minions. If Kodaka dies in battle, her soul will enter the Herald of Blood's personal prison and will resurrect the lonely
The
body and carry out the remaining duties of the contract under the guise of Kodaka. I can't read the rest. The last
If the there's two paragraphs which condense into one for me. If the contract is wished to be broken, a soul of equal value chosen by the Herald of Blood will be required. Kodaka will keep her powers and the soul chosen, once collected, will be doomed to suffer agony for eternity.
Not gonna lie, the echo with that part was great.
I will be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I
Kodaka.
agree.
That sounds fucked.
Yeah, well,
Heart-
apparently it's
Oh,
not
what
supposed
has-
to go that way.
That's
Child, what have you done? I understand the lust for power. Unfortunately, you did not.
Sailor will silently try to hand Jewel another drink. Pretty much everything you just ordered that I spilled.
I'm gonna
We'll go
snatch
around
it
the
and give you a
room.
dirty look.
What?
Aaron will go over.
I'm just saying that I'm snatching whatever Hoseo is giving me and still giving him a dirty look.
Hoseo.
He doesn't look at you.
I get the
Aaron
feeling y'all
will go
missed my
over to the
comment earlier
bed.
about the blubbering idiot that Kodaka mentioned being married off to. I was like, is that
Oh
blubbering
no, I
idiot
saw that. I
Hoseo?
saw that. That was great.
What is Ari doing?
He's going to the bed, pulling the blanket off, and then wrapping Ko up in the blanket.
Oh, well, I appreciate my shoulders no longer being exposed because this is very awkward.
Well, that wasn't the only thing that was exposed.
Hey, there's bandages covering the top half of me, all right?
Just the top, right?
No. I've got, well, the bandages cover my wrists, my, like right below my knee and my chest. But I do have on my pants. So there's that.
Okay. So Hoseo enters back into the room, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Talk's just gonna look back, look over to Kodaka and be like, is this the blubbering idiot you are warning us about?
I'm gonna look over at Talk and go, no. Something I did forget, because again, these pictures aren't done yet. If you look at the second one of the outfit where it's like on the thighs, that's actually open and that's like skin exposed. And again, it's not done yet, but there are the scars of the runes that are carved into her on her legs there that are visible.
So I'm shaken and a little bit angry, and I'm just gonna kind of put the food on the bed that I brought for you and say, so what happened to Zimperios? Did you kill him too for your stupid pact?
What do you mean? No! He said he was going to his church.
Sounds like a persuasion roll.
She's telling the truth.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
I mean,
Welcome to the
Hoseo will
bullying
speak
Kodaka
up.
episode.
Say Zook was never with us outside. I found her after us when I arrived.
A likely story. Accomplice. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless. No, okay. Yeah, that's.
All right. Well, yeah, your insight shows that she's being truthful.
I was almost hoping to get a critical one for more hilarity, but Talk kind of Talk just pauses and it's like stares and just goes.
Talk's voice cut out. Something's got to be refreshed.
What? Hello?
I can hear
Hang on a
Talk.
second.
I hear you talk.
Just because I'm a robot doesn't mean I'm
Hang
constantly
on.
suffering errors, man. You can't keep bullying me like this.
It's fine now.
You got something.
I haven't anything since before Talk rolled a nat 20 on Insight.
What?
No, he was hoping for a 1.
Yeah.
I was hoping for one because that'd be hilarious, but no, we do need to sort things. But so Talk just kind of takes a moment, like he's processing information. He's kind of running through like basically like probabilities of truth, all that type of shit. He just goes, okay. We have now arrived at a new juncture. You are in quite a not good situation, but I do believe we have the means to solve that. Wouldn't you agree, Ari? You seem to be much more knowledgeable on the specific sort of magic that this is, but I do believe that through this accidental undertaking of book collecting and therefore almost death by unfortunate means, we have now been led to a new path to ensure life continues for a select individual.
Yes. She did not choose power, power chose her. And unfortunately, she played the power game poorly, even though she was unknown to her.
As the old saying,
My master was very good at playing the power game. So I can understand the trouble she's now in.
as the young
I've
ones
been afraid for a while that something was amiss.
as the young ones say, sucks to suck. But we should get this sorted very quickly. This does not sound like a... Perhaps Zumperios might be able to help. Fiends and demons would certainly be...
Once the contract's signed, the contract is done. You have two options. You find the person that the Herald of Blood wants, or you get 49 more kills. 49 more souls lost to the abyss.
So talk in a moment of naivety, I suppose, just goes, well, why don't we ask him then? If he wants one, why not ask? If he's looking for that specific one, I'm certain we could probably deliver.
Sale's gonna look over to Ko and raise an eyebrow, like, is that an option?
Apparently, it is part of a contract that I couldn't discern before, but I'm worried that the Herald might select one of you.
My eyes are as big as the frickin' dinner plates that the bartender gave us.
That sounds painful.
What you're not taking into account is the Herald gets to pick what it counts as equivalent. What would happen if it picked the ruler of this land?
That's unfortunate.
Are
That's
you
about...
going to try and take his life? Somebody that's trying to hold this realm together?
Does that mean I'd go from being a noble to being the queen?
Ooh,
No.
question, talk.
Let's not
No.
venture down this path of thought anymore. You are correct, Larry.
I'm gonna hold my hands up. It was just a joke.
Talk,
Let's-
question.
Yes, answers possible.
And this might be an out of character question, but you, in your robo brain, do you see all life as having equal value, one soul to one soul, or do you see people having different levels of value based off of position?
Not position. A portion of it is action or actions yet to be taken. So a prime example would be, as an example, bandits versus normal civilians. He's going to ultimately go, like, as a prime example, if he had to choose to save between lives, every single time going the civilian over the bandit, because the bandit has made choices that either have cost lives, have damaged the well-being of lives, or I guess the best military way of saying it is life, limb, or eyesight, where it is like anything that drastically affects one's state of being, even if it's not death, but their quality of living. At that point, it's kind of as you damage the worth of, or the quality of one's life, you damage the worth of your own. So in terms of what's it called, it's like, if, as far as he's aware, just a random peasant and a noble are on the same playing field for either ruining or not ruining others' lives, he's going to value them equally.
Gotcha.
It could be even worse, Pop. It could value a newborn's life.
Yes, because they have yet to prove any action. So if anything, kids are like technically above everything else because they still have a potential to learn to improve. Because once you get older, it is harder to break habits. But when you are young, it is easy to set up habits for the good of life. So, being
I
in
do
that
not
state,
believe.
if they are treated right and treated well, taught well, they can be led to better life. Obviously, it also depends on circumstance. Like, if they grew up in a cult for the first, 6-7 years of their life, it might be a bit more difficult. But, yes.
I don't think that breaking the contract is an option. The question is, how can we efficiently get her to have the last kill, and what does it consider sentient creatures?
Do they do executions around here?
Are you trying to enlist me to be an executioner?
It would be the simplest option.
That would make sense.
You wouldn't be in any trouble.
You wouldn't be in any trouble.
They
You'd
do
be in no danger.
do executions, but only
I'm not looking to just take lives because I want to take lives.
It is not because you
just
want.
to.
You are required.
You have to, don't you?
You didn't have a problem taking the halfling's life.
That is
She
also a
tried
very
to kill
good
me.
point.
So you've said.
Deception.
Hey, my deception was 21 earlier when you said, is she one of those people?
Oh yeah, good point. So, fuck this shit, I'm out. I don't
He's having
really
tea and
care.
eating biscuits in the back room.
He's
We
still
have
in
a-
church.
We have some other issues that are going to crop up.
Perhaps additional. Oh, my apologies.
No, not perhaps. Zemphyros is going to have an issue. How big of an issue, I don't know. But
Killing
this cannot be
Zemphyros is off the table.
broached
Wait,
lightly
Maseo.
again.
Hold on. We aren't suggesting killing Zempyrios. Wait. Did I
Killing
mishear you?
Zemphyros is
I am
off the
saying
table.
everyone in our group needs to be appraised. Everyone needs to be appraised of the situation and given the opportunity to stand by her or leave. But to go in with some heroes, I fear that we're going to have to be very diplomatic. Nothing can be made light of.
She's possessed by a demon.
And I really, I don't think she's possessed yet, but I be. So I think how we should phrase it to him is, this is what we're doing to try to save her, unless he can come up with another option. I do not believe there is another option. When you have a contract that is both infernal and abyssal, I'm not sure it can be broke. To break one side, can you break the other? The abyssal portion is very lawful. It only gives you one out.
The question is
And
the contract magical? Because if not, we have proven that talk can make any type of image appear on paper. And you know what that means talk could do? You ever heard of
trust me when I tell you, there are copies of what she has in the hells and the abyss. The only way to void this contract without either killing 50 people and delivering their souls or delivering a chosen one would be to go to both places and retrieve the contracts. And we are not that powerful.
Yes, going to hell does not sound like a good idea. What about, and this is going to possibly be a bit of a stretch, but we keep doing what we were already doing, and just take on jobs. And while it may be grim, I'm certain there'd be certain groups of individual that are unfortunately requiring the unlife equation, and those would be able to suffice. I'm
I
certain,
don't
given everything
believe
that's
the
happened with the
undead count,
pox.
do they?
They don't.
Who?
The undead.
The undead
No, I'm not
do
talking about undead. I mean, in general, if we take jobs together, since we did work rather well down in the crypt, if we take jobs, say, dealing with, let's be honest, the recurrence of pox has certainly left certain individuals not giving any cares in the world to others, and as such should be rightfully punished, which means there'd be certainly way to deal with two problems at once. We take care of those plaguing the innocent of both this city and others around, and we sort out the contract problem for Kotaka.
The question is, do things like the spiders count?
Wait, what?
And
The word humanoid said in the contract.
Humanoid
I think
and
it said-
creature.
go back and specifically, what does it say?
It did
It says
say
humanoid / creature.
Of a humanoid.
So if it says
slash
creature,
Hmm.
but did it say sentient?
It did not specify sentient.
we could go hunting.
Although
could
I will
technically
say
count.
that everything that me and Haseo have killed over the last 6 months while hunting, such as squirrels and deer, have not counted.
What about a bear?
You know, I'm willing to try,
Just a
I
big
guess.
squirrel.
That is certainly not true.
Yeah. They just don't have as long of a tail.
Which would you prefer to have break into your house in the middle of the night? A big squirrel or a bear? If you
Is
pick the bear, I think you may be drinking too much, and I will have to take that away from you.
I mean, if the squirrel is as big as the bear, I would choose the bear.
And we are going to take away that drink now.
Just saying.
I think you might need to get some rest. I think the crypt fumes have been getting to you, Jewel.
Listen, is what I'm hearing here that we were all just chilling in a tavern, planning on getting a little side gig to go find some books. Some books. And now we are a band of adventurers trying to help our possessed friend not become totally possessed by killing people.
Look,
Sounds like one of those stories you tell us, Jewel.
I
Now you
feel
get to be a part
like
of one.
50 is not that much. We can continue doing what we were doing before, and I'm sure it'll remedy itself as we go.
I just didn't know this was a thing. This is a thing. This is
To
a
be
thing.
fair, I wasn't expecting this to ever be a thing. I was not expecting to sit here looking like this, having this conversation with anyone ever.
Well, the conversation has been
what-
had.
I think what you have to realize, Jewel, is this was not something that she necessarily wanted. This was something her family forced on her. Unfortunately, her family was not there to mediate the requirements of the contract. She had a contract forced on her in order to live by a daemon.
I understand all of that, and I am not blaming you, Kotaka. I get it. I just didn't realize we were going to turn into this kind of adventuring party.
Look, if there's any consolation to this, I think that maybe there might be another way around this, since this is just how blood mages work, apparently. You know, if I can find my parents and my brother, then maybe they can fix it. I lost track of them during the attack, but they made it out before I did. So they've got to be somewhere. I've been looking for them. That's why I'm here. I've been to like 8 towns. I haven't found them yet, but maybe if I can find them, then maybe my father can fix it.
I believe what you'll find is once your contract is signed, it is done. That's why my master was always extremely careful in dealing with the other side. He always tried to make it to his advantage, and in the end, it was always at best a draw. And he is much more powerful than I am.
I'm just going to stand up, not look at anybody else, and just walk out of the room without saying anything. And I'm going to go find Imperios, because when we were in the crypt, I told him that I was going to turn my life to the gods he worshipped, because I saw the light, and I feel like I need to pray. So I'm going to find Imperios.
Okay. That's
Is
going to be
Haseo still out in the hall?
Yeah, Haseo was in the hall
No.
singing, whistling one of your
Is he in the room now?
I'll look to Top. Top, please give me 5 of the gold you carry.
5 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you are.
Yes, I am going to go calm the innkeeper. This should assuage his anger at the door. Perhaps someone could sweep up the mess outside. An aerial walk away.
You see Haseo cleaning the mess in the hallway.
Ariel find the innkeeper and just reach up and hand him the gold.
Okay. He takes it and quickly puts it in his pocket.
I'm going to call out, Haseo, are you somewhere nearby?
Yeah.
Do you have my wash basin?
Oh, shit. I'll be back. And he runs off.
Are you sure he's not the one you were talking about in your story?
You know, I know how it looks, but no.
Would you just double checking? It seems like you've been rather screwed with the first thing. I want to make sure you're not receiving a double screwing here.
Well, that sounds a little. Never mind.
Hold on. Wait, what?
No, when I say a bumbling buffoon that I would be married to, I mean another noble. Haseo's just a monk.
Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
You're downstairs. You can't hear shit, remember?
I didn't say that to you. I said that to everybody else who was in the room.
Doc just kind of pauses, just understandable, but also rude. Just a monk, okay. Don't worry, he'll be offended. Doc will be offended on Haseo's hat.
He'll come back and look at Top, and he'll look up at Top and says, Top, could you find an alchemist in town? Perhaps something this add to the bathwater to soothe the aches might be in line.
Hold on, I believe I heard a completely different sentence for you. Did you say search for an outhouse?
Alchemist.
Ah,
The people that make potions. They also have powders. Perhaps one that could soothe the aches and pains. I would say that she looks like she's a little sore.
that sounds fantastic, but I might have an easier solution. do I have an easier solution? Hold on. I realized I had to double check that. Prestidigitation.
Has masseuse mode?
Actually, he could. But hold on here. What was I looking for here? I was looking for. So prestidigitation, right? It can create small non-magical trinkets. Well, I guess technically speaking, we'd have to know what exactly like liquid to put in a bath that helps relax it. Lemongrass. Nah, that's a bad idea.
It would be easier to find the alchemist.
What about just peppermint scent? That's a good one, right? Or something. What smells good? What is something that smells good?
Lavender.
Lavender.
Lavender,
use
eucalyptus, peppermint.
But besides smelling good, they have things that will loosen the muscles, take the pain away.
Aloe vera. That's technically a non-magical trinket.
Yes, but that's for burns, such as my arms. In this case, this is a permanently open wound.
Should we do like a survival check to know like something that would be good, I suppose?
That's why I'm suggesting the alchemist in town. If you just tell them you need something for a soothing bath, they can sell you to like the salts and things.
Or
because I'm a goblin, and to be honest, most people don't like me.
Or, hear me out here. I also hurt, and at the moment do not feel like going too much elsewhere at this current moment. What if instead we just figure it out?
Taki, you said you're the age of like a teenager, right?
Mentally, in a sense, kinda, yeah. I mean,
That
he has memories from like 10 years ago, and then beyond that, there's nothing.
Because that sounds like an argument between my mom and my brother. Would you just go do the thing? Well, I don't really feel like. Hear me out.
What you know, Tom, new experiences can cause memories to be triggered. Perhaps going to the alchemist shop might trigger some of your own memories in the past.
Or
you have shown the ability to make things, and alchemists make things.
Or the third option, the orb.
Oh,
Jesus.
Orb.
Fucking orb.
I wish I was in the room for that part.
Wait. Talk, before you do that, may I see your orb for a split second?
Sure. You may need me to translate what it says because I don't think I've actually had time to teach any of you what the various symbols mean. But
that's
go ahead. And he just kind of
it.
and just passes it along.
All right, I take it. I'm going to look at the orb, and then I'm going to look at Talk. And while staring at Talk, I'm going to shake the fuck out of this ball and just say, are you... How do I want to word this? Are you bullshit ball?
Rude.
And then I'm gonna point it at Talk.
All right,
what does it say?
You knife, you piece of
Wait.
shit.
Well, the question needs to be more specific. Are you saying like, are you bullshit ball? Like, as in, is the ball bullshit or is
the ball bullshit? Is the ball bullshit? Because I feel like this ball just fucks with us.
This ball has been correct.
Has it been correct, or have we just landed on yeses at good times?
All right, she shakes the ball. Talk. Do you read the results?
Of course, I read the results. I'm the only one who can.
The future seems bright.
It is decidedly
what's
so.
It say?
It says, "Ask again later."
No, it says it is decidedly so.
That is what Talk
But
is saying.
Talk is saying it.
Oh my
Ask
God.
again later.
I haven't been able to hear Jeff until just now this whole time.
Oh fuck.
Oh, jeez. Well,
So what does it say?
Well, that's up to Talk. He's the one reading it. He's been
Ask
told
again later.
Talk is most definitely a teenager.
We've done so many
I
hard
hand the ball
flips.
back to him.
Now then, a real question.
Okay.
What did you just do?
He said a real question, and then I was like, a real.
Now then, Talk is tired. Okay, he's beat up. He's tired. He for like a hot minute he thought Konoka was just murdering people. Like his brain's doing a couple of loopy loops right now. He's gotten a bit edgy, not edgy, angsty. There you go. He's gotten a bit angsty at the time being, but he goes, "Can we figure out what we need without going to the alchemist?" Check.
Well, Talk, of course you can figure out what you need.
Exactly.
But where is the easiest place to get it other than the shop that already has it?
Me. Because I don't have to go anywhere to get something for me. Just because I have long legs doesn't mean I enjoy walking everywhere.
Retract them and roll.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to roll a deception and say it says yes.
All right. I'm gonna incite that.
Roll lower than me, please.
Fuck.
Now you're screwed. Oh my god, I was about to say you're screwed.
I don't know what the fuck's happening. The orb gives me power. Fuck.
Phrasing?
Ariel, just look at Talk. You know, your eye twitches when you lie to us, Talk.
Have you seen how battered I am?
It makes the sound.
Give me the money, I will go.
Now,
It will just
I am
cost
lying.
more.
It's not because of my eye. My eye is normal. Normally.
It
Fine.
twitches when you lie.
It does not twitch when I lie. That is me being damaged.
Insight.
I think you need to check your programming, Talk. I think you'll find that it's been hardwired into you. It twitches when you lie.
He's totally right. It twitches when you lie.
Okay, then. So
It's
while I'm
twitching
fixing
right
that
now.
update, that means you agree to go to the alchemist?
It'll just cost more of your money.
Perfect. Rebooting.
Right in the middle of someone else's room.
He's just sitting there and just goes.
Wait a minute.
When his legs go retract up in him and he comes down, I'll just get in his pack and root around for the money.
Question. I
The
thought
sentry's rest. He turns back on. And he's like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" No. He would not care.
but with the
As a matter of
Sentry's
fact, if you
Rest,
asked for the money, he would give it to you.
with the Sentry's Rest, you do see everything, and I'm pretty sure Ko wants a bath.
Well,
Her
good thing he's
hot
a
water
robot,
is
then,
on
I
the way.
suppose.
Trust me, his photographic memory will come in handy.
Just in case we need a medical evaluation later, he is really smart, even though intelligence has nothing to do with medicine for whatever reason. I think we've had this talk before, actually. So, I mean, rebooting.
Well, that's because medicine has to deal with wisdom. So
Which doesn't make sense. I don't see a Buddhist going to medical school. I see a very intelligent person going to medical school.
I don't even
Speaking
see
of being
intelligent people going.
Speaking of being healthy, if the player here could just interject for a sec. Talk, did you use your hit dice during the short rest?
Yes.
Did you use your Song of Rest hit dice during the rest?
My what of? Huh? We got that?
Jewel is level 2. She can give you 1d6 during a short rest.
Ah, that was not specified that I had been given that. Because I only got 1 HP back during that short rest.
Damn.
You should have 2 hit dice. That is impossible.
No, I only rolled the 1.
Oh, so
And
you
then
didn't even use all of them. Got it.
Yeah, no, because I was kind of worried in case we decide to go down into the spider hole, like I would need more.
But I don't believe Jewel was singing during the period. So
we did do that in the one
In
of
the
the
chat.
RP chats.
Yeah. Plus, I
you
mean,
didn't
again,
sing though. You had just told stories.
It can be oration.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of an after the matter thing.
Singing.
Yes, get out.
But it doesn't matter because we drank from that well before we left. Everybody should have been at full hit points anyways.
I got 1 HP from the water. That water put me at half health.
Okay. Never mind.
And it only works once a day, so you can't keep going back to the well.
Welcome to my
And I don't
as
know
a teenage robot.
I don't know if Poe would know that Top can see when he's powered down.
I don't think anybody can because he's not really demonstrated it. I don't think he says like, "Oh yeah, I'm really good at like keeping watch," but he's never actually like demonstrated the fact of, "Hey, just because it looks like I'm powered down, it doesn't mean I'm like not unaware." Like straight up, if something happens, I'm immediately be like, "Hello, prepare to die, motherfucker," you know. So again, just nap time for talk, I suppose.
Is my wash basin here yet?
Well, how long is Talk waiting? Is going to be offline?
Until somebody else goes to the alchemist.
Well, I think Ari already volunteered.
I will give
did he
Ari
leave
5
yet?
more gold from my own pocket.
Talk's back, so he was coming here.
Yeah, no, you can talk. Like talk does not care. If it means that somebody else is going and he's not for the moment, he is fine with that. Plus, it still needs to be split up amongst the party anyways. So it's like, if it's getting used on the party in a sense, then he really couldn't give a shit. There's not much he's going to use it for anyways, other than helping other people. So. Awkward silence. Awkward silence. Awkward
So
silence.
is Ari gone?
going? So we can move this
Yes,
along?
Ari is going.
All right. So Ari goes to get Lavender and whatnot. About 5 minutes after he leaves, Haseo returns.
Oh god, this water's heavy.
Yeah, with the water.
Is Talk
Walk
still
in and see a powered down Talk.
Yeah. Well,
Just look.
Talk said he was only going to stay powered down until someone else went to the alchemist, so he could be powered back up now.
Actually, so if he tries to rest for a short rest hour now, I could use that extra hit dice to try and get some health back.
Is he facing me?
This one's on you.
Well, the issue is that we were in the middle of a conversation talking specifically to
Haseo,
you.
put the wash basin behind him and just stand with your back against him or something. I don't see you being able to move him out of here.
I'm going to just throw a blanket over his eyes and say, "Quick, privacy, just a minute. I'll take this off." And
just in case he wakes up. Why is it dark? I cannot see. I'm blind.
Great. So
Fireball,
after
fireball.
that, now that I know that I'm safe, Haseo, I assume, will also turn around. Yes.
I do what I always do. I put on a blindfold and sit away from you.
Perfect. Then I enjoy my bath the way a normal person would bathe instead of in my clothes. And then we can get the fuck out of this room and go back to the church.
You enjoy your bath with the door busted down.
Oh, right.
I'll be just be like in the doorway holding up a sheet.
You get a sheet over Talk's head, a sheet being held up by the door, but it's a real
Yep.
relaxing bath.
Yeah, like not only that, but you start taking the bath before he came back with the alchemist stuff, so it's just hot water. So he went out to the
I am
alchemist.
still currently taking said bath, so I will continue
but
to
he's
do
gonna-
so until we meet back up.
I can't
No, but
wait
he's
for
gonna
this to
back
come
with
up.
the stuff for the bath, though.
I can't wait for this to come up in 2 or 3 sessions, and my character will be blamed by proxy if I'm with you guys.
So I'm just like, what the hell did you all do? What in the name of the life change? The life changer?
It's canon.
Change bringer, I think it was.
Correct.
Yeah, bringer of change.
You get a card. Life changer is just fucking.
Oh my
right,
god. So
Harry
I mean, I'll
returns-
continue the bath until Ari, I guess, gets back with his stuff, but that'll be some time, I assume.
It's not too far to the alchemist, so Ares able to return quickly with some
Well,
lavender.
what
and
I'm
whatnot.
hunting for, what I'm hunting for is things that will help with wounds that won't heal.
Okay.
You know, we're in a magical land. I'm sure that people have had this issue.
Yeah.
Like-
Okay. So let me see here. All right.
Whether it be a salve, a powder, or a potion, whatever.
How long are you going to search?
Well, I'm trusting the alchemist to know something.
Okay. All right. You get to the alchemist, and she tells you that she's aware of what you're looking for, but she doesn't have anything in stock.
Somebody's beating the keyboard.
Yeah.
No.
All right. What do we need to hunt, and what can you give me that will help soothe the ache from a wound like that?
She gives you a cream and says that this will take the pain away temporarily. It'll just it won't relieve it. It will only mask it. And to get something along what you want, you're gonna have to find a couple of things. And she pulls out a piece of paper and starts scribbling some things down on it and hands it over to you. And it's a list of ingredients. And she says, if you can get these ingredients, I can make the salve for you.
I'll give her the 10 gold.
Okay.
Not having any idea what it costs, but she's giving me knowledge, so. And it wasn't my money.
Jules, last I heard, you were heading down to find Spoon. Yes.
Yes, in the temple.
All right. So you find the shrine dedicated to his deity.
Okay. So I'm walking in and I'm like scanning to see if I see him anywhere.
Yes. I'm Spoon. Whatever you want to be doing is fine.
How big are the
Yeah.
grounds of this like shrine? Is it like a small patch, or is there a bunch of shrines nearby?
There's a couple. There's some houses nearby, and then it's kind of like spaced out. You got a shrine, some houses, some stores, and then another shrine or a temple.
Okay.
It's not like
Is there a conveniently placed tree for me to abuse by practicing archery?
Yes.
Excellent. I'll be doing that.
Okay.
All right, so if I see him doing that, I am going to walk up to him and be like, okay, I'm really glad that you're not dead. There's been a lot of craziness, but I'm not ready to talk about it. So, can you show me, is there like a candle I need to light? Or like some water I need to dive into? Or like, is there like a little box I should go into and like a therapy session with someone? Like how do I pray here? What do I do here?
I assume that as she starts her spiel, my character will just like loose the third of like 3 arrows he just has like on a, I don't know what you'd call we'll call it a ponce. And he'll just turn to face her while she's going through the spiel and then take off his hood. And he lets her continue until she stops.
Okay.
How can the servant of the Changebringer help you, Miss Jewel?
I think one of our party might be possessed. Well, not like really possessed, but like the verge of possession. Maybe not the verge of possession. There's just, it's been a crazy couple of days, and I saw the light, and I was dead, and then I'm not dead, and I feel like I need to thank somebody, and I think we're going to need some help. And oh, by the way, you should probably really, we're going to need your help too. I just need to pray.
I see. What was that about someone being possessed?
I'm not sure. I'm not the right person to ask that question to right now.
I see. And who should I be asking?
Airy. He's pretty level-headed.
So Aries possessed.
No. well, no. I mean, maybe no.
Perhaps
No,
you
I
should
don't
take a
think
couple
he
of
is.
moments to calm down, Miss Jewel. Here,
Yeah.
I shall direct you to the chapel.
Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, the halfling's dead. Where's the chapel?
I beg your pardon?
I know I sent this earlier, but I just got flashbanged by words.
I think that joke broke role playing.
Oh my god!
Don't worry, Haseo, you're just missing everything.
Is it this way?
Oh,
I'm afraid I'm going to have to use it to roll it back up again. I'm sorry, how is Leviathan dead?
I'm sorry, what?
How is Mrs. Leviathan dead?
Who's that?
Mrs. Ashlyn Leviathan, the halfling?
Oh, that's her full name. Well, I don't know. I mean, she gave up the ghost, I guess. Is that how you guys say it? I don't know.
I say no such thing. Why is she dead?
Why is she dead? Well, I guess, because she couldn't survive the beating, I guess.
oh
Perhaps I
my
should
god!
Perhaps I should be more direct with my questions. How has she come to be dead? What caused the trauma that killed her?
The weight of her sins.
Well, we're not. I shouldn't be the one to answer that question. It's just through here, yes? Is there a candle?
The Changebreaker can hear you wherever you pray, Mrs. Jewel.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm just gonna sit down, crisscross applesauce, right where I am.
With your bottle.
And if he's still there, I'm just gonna kind of look up at him like why are you still here? And just be like, everybody's in the tavern. If you think, if you're that worried about it, we could go back there, I guess.
I suppose I
Are
should
you
have to
okay?
ask somebody else. Why have you come here aside from attending to attain enlightenment, Miss Jewel?
Well, to make sure you weren't dead too.
Why would you think that I was dead?
Well, you weren't there.
Yes, most of the terms of our agreement was over.
But you didn't even say goodbye.
That is correct. I had assumed that Kota would tell everyone.
But you didn't tell me goodbye.
I didn't tell her goodbye either. I simply told her where you could find me.
Okay, now I'm standing up because I'm mad at him. Do you mean to tell me you were going to leave because the terms of our agreement was over and you were not going to tell me goodbye at all?
You say this like we're never going to see each other ever again.
Well, that's what you just... we thought you were dead. Or that you could have possibly been dead. Because you disappeared, but you didn't tell us that you were going anywhere, and we were all together hanging out. We had just killed a bunch of things, and then you were gone. And then we come out, and then the Ash is dead. But you were missing. I mean,
So am I to
maybe...
assume that you assumed that I was a corpse or dead or murdered somewhere because you found what happened upon the corpse of Leviathan?
Well, I mean, we thought that was a possibility, or that you were the murderer. There was a lot of... We know you're not the murderer now. Because Ko was the murderer. I mean, I shouldn't have said that. That's not what I meant. It's not like that. You know what?
My character stands stone-faced and holds up a finger like, I have many questions, some of which I now show you I will be sharing with Ko. However,
the path has been updated.
I wouldn't say it's murder necessarily.
That is the literal definition of murdering another human being.
No. It wasn't like that. It was more like a like...
Can you get Jules back
like
in Discord so I can hear her?
No, yeah,
Jules
Jules,
out of
can you come
Discord.
back into Discord? He can't hear you at all. Like, he's sitting here missing the fact that you just told Spoon that I fucking murdered the halfling.
What happened? Why am I not in Discord?
That is an excellent question.
I'm kind of getting that from Zimfrey's responses, but
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Well, good thing I'm very direct.
Somehow, yeah, and I'm not being direct. Okay, hold on. Somehow it froze on me, so I'm restarting it.
Goodbye.
Welcome to the funniest episode of Vagrants of Veranar ever.
Christ. First, I lost him. Then I finally got a soul of 50. Then I was accused correctly, but of murder.
Yeah, I was correctly
then
accused
I was accused of murder for somebody who's alive.
Okay.
And then we believed you were attempting murder on a third.
Listen.
And now, Zump at some point was considered the murderer of the halfling. But now he knows I murdered her without any context.
Okay. So I think the last thing that I said was, it wasn't exactly like a murder necessarily, more like a hired kill, contract kill, but like...
I beg your pardon?
I don't think I'm explaining this right. So, like, you know what? I think you should pray with me. And then maybe we should go grab a pint. What you say?
She smells like she's had a kick.
Being that I can smell liquor on you already, I trust you less with every passing verb. I'm going to go sober, and I'm going to ask Kotaka of my own volition about precisely what in the Lord of Hells think you are trying to pass off as proper behavior in any context. And I wish you luck in finding enlightenment, Miss Jewel. I shall be at... Now that I think about it, where am I going?
The tavern
Which one of these several in the central row?
where we all met. The tavern where we met.
The one headed by the elfin woman and the friend?
Yeah, Willock's Tavern. Or Willock's End.
The Willock.
Inn. Yeah, the Willock's Inn. Thank you, God.
Oh, is that supposed to be like a pun like Luck's End or something?
The Willock's Willock
End.
the Willock's
Willock's End. Willock
Well-
End.
Look, after having that one paper that very clearly said something about skinning people.
What?
What was it? The chant that she did?
Oh, what a fool I am.
Oh, what a fool I
Yeah,
am.
I want to fillet him. I wouldn't put it past Hefe at this point to call it Will Luck's End.
Willock's End.
Anyways, it's at the Willock's Inn where we met each other. That's where they are, and that's where we can go if you'd like. You're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's because of the drink. That's what it is. I didn't mean that Coke killed anybody or that she's almost possessed. That's the liquor talking. That's crazy. Why would I say that? We should go.
This almost plays out like a fucking Comedy Central bit. I just don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
And by the way, the halfling's dead. What?
Oh, the halfling's dead. What you doing later?
We'll see you at the tavern. By the way, the halfling's dead. Bye.
You want to go? We going?
All right. So Zampirios and Jules head back to the tavern, where at this point in time, Kodica has cleaned herself up.
Just for posterity, I'll point out that I'm probably only armed with the bow and my vestments by this point.
Jeff, you are not being heard in Discord again.
All right, let me see if I can reconnect it.
Spontaneous laughter seems to break our communication.
For real.
Yeah.
Are you guys not when you guys watch my stream, are you not able to hear the Roll20 sound?
I can.
Oh, okay.
I know it's after the fact. Can Joel have DM's inspiration for that old halfling's dead?
That
What
shit
you
was
do?
wild.
Please. I feel like it's deserved at that point.
Okay.
Excellent method acting.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right, so Zampirios and Jules return to the tavern where I guess Haseo and Talk have been arguing about the door that's now destroyed. Kodica has had the time to get herself cleaned up and redressed.
Fresh bandages.
Fresh bandages.
I have a question about that. Did you put a disguise back on?
I would say that I am probably in the process. I probably have my dress back on, but not the wig yet.
Oh.
All right, I'll be helping you then.
As we get up to the door
The sheet.
with the
The sheet's down.
There's no sheet now. Haseo's arms gave out.
So
Yep.
as we're coming around to the corner or that hallway, I'll probably just kind of grab Zump's arm. to get his attention and be like, oh yeah, and by the way, Ko's not really Ko anymore. She's someone else now. But we're cool with it.
I put the wig back on before they walk in.
I'm sure she will explain that very adequately to me at some point.
Probably not.
All right. So what you're telling me is the next order of business of the party is we're going to enlist Jewel in AA.
All right. Let me just roll. All right. Let me just preemptively roll up a new character.
All right.
I need to roll some text to fix this door.
Talk's not helping you.
You
Be careful what you say. Talk might try to actively hinder you. Talk is in the sassiest of moods right now. He adapted it from you.
So just as a side note, I now look the exact same as when Spoon left me. And she
Okay.
just told him that I don't look the same.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Joe and Jules arrive back at the room. Kodaka looks exactly like you left her, but a little more clean.
I am delivered directly to the room.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first order of business, Ms. Jewel,
Yeah.
why is the door missing its knob?
That was me.
I'm gonna look at Talk.
That was me.
Hello,
It's missing more than
Why
its
did
knob. The door.
The door is gone.
Well, you
I
see,
sent it to heaven.
see, I tried to give Ko some dinner, but then Haseo tried to kill me, so I bit him. And somehow then the door fell.
my character will
fact,
share body posture with the visible concern face.
I intended no physical harm. I was trying to prevent you from
Silence.
finding a secret.
Ms. Jewel, are you telling me that this altercation happened because of Miss Ko?
Which altercation are we referring to it now?
Well, there are several apparently to choose from. Killing the halfling, being barreled over for breakfast, and the door. So I shall choose for your benefit. Why is Haseo trying to keep you from Ko's room?
That's a good freaking question because he told me that she liked me and that I was just going back to bring her breakfast because she
Question
liked me.
rescinded.
And I was trying to...
Haseo,
Yes. The sale shrinks into himself.
why were you attempting to keep Jewel from the room?
Because I went to get Lady Kodaka some. I went to get Lady Kodaka some bath water so she could change and get the blood off of her.
So you were attempting to protect her modesty.
Yes.
That's
A little
not what
aggressively.
happened.
Fucking aggravated assault. I'm protecting her modesty. All right.
Further question.
Good job, Mr. Monk.
He tackled me.
Excuse me?
I'm
Because
just
this is the
saying,
first talks hearing about this too, I'm pretty sure.
he tackled me. That was more than
Follow-up
he
question.
said, like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, Jewel, hold on a second. She's an indecent. But the bastard tackled me.
I am sure this can be resolved at a later time when I am
It's already
when I
resolved.
have all the
did it, Dad.
information. How does
Bit my
this
ankle.
Haseo.
how does this relate into what I can only assume to be Toktil-kun doing his best impression of the Stormbringer all over this door?
So,
What?
we had a mathematical question. What happens when 310 pounds of metal crashes through a door because of a loud screaming noise from the room of what we presumed to be... Oh, wait. Hold on, Jewel. What all did you tell Zampirios already?
What are we talking about?
I have been dutifully and confusedly informed that Irie is possessed, the halfling is dead, and that Ko is not who she claims to be.
Correct, and sort of.
All of that is true. I said that.
Wait, Aries possessed? Awesome.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Aries
That is what I said. That either
When
is
did-
possessed, that the halfling is dead, that you all thought I was dead, or that I had killed myself, or some malarkey, and that
Aries
Kota
not-
was
Who
not
came
who
up
claims
with
to
that
be.
crazy nonsense?
Okay, so let's
Not
correct this
me.
entire sequence of events because
Please
it
do.
is clear that something has gone wrong in communication. But we're gonna fix it. It's all right.
I
We'll
am
take
not
care of it.
disarmed by your honeyed words. Directly explain to me the situation.
All
yeah,
right,
you guys just
essentially-
speak plain English so people can
Shush.
understand you.
I will proceed to speak in Elvish just to reset. No. Okay. But so Talk's going to go through and just explain things very matter-of-factly of just, hey, we came up, you were gone, Kodako was very badly injured, we found Ash's body out in the forest.
How was she injured?
Magic.
She's dead.
Yeah. Or,
That's how.
or do you mean how was Ko injured or how was the Ash injured?
Kotaka.
The
She's not
Beaten
dead.
the fuck up.
By whom?
Well,
The
obviously the
halfling.
dead individual.
By the
From the
By the-
appearance of it, it was whip injuries. So
by the fiend, I think it was. By
So
the
she was
fiend.
beaten to within an inch of her life by Lady de Leviathan.
yes,
Look, I know how that sounds based off of what we saw, but
Thank you for joining us, Lady Kotaka. I'm sure you have much to explain. However, Talk was spit talking, so please continue.
so essentially, as the story was given to us, self-defense, but something seemed off. Investigation, your disappearance. I was led to believe that something had happened, and we were worried that perhaps you had been injured, since you had come up out of the crypt before Haseo, but all of a sudden you are vanished.
Yes, I
Kodaka's
went
heavily
home as
injured
one
spirit-
does.
Yes, we were not informed.
Ariel walk in about this time. He'll look over at Top and he'll go, "Well, share with him your other theory, Top, that he was the one that attacked Poe."
What? Did I say that?
Yes, that was one of your theories earlier.
To be fair, I was just trying to eliminate all redundant possibilities. That one was very
Well,
quickly
of course,
eliminated.
that was because you said the halfling could not have did as much damage as she did.
Yes, but evidently she did. That Ashling kicked Kodaka's ass.
So if I meant to correct this, assuming you assumed that I, Zampiros, a cleric who carries a mace and now a silver short sword, inflicted whip wounds onto Kotaka.
That is exactly why I said that theory did not stand, is because we realized, hey, there's only whip wounds. So,
That theory does not stand.
exactly.
And now I am being
But-
accused of being a BDSM fetishist by Jewel. This is just being a perfect day in Odo.
Excuse me, what is BDSM?
You do not need to know.
I don't think I said that. I don't think I said
Why
that.
is everyone very abhorrent in me not... What are you all learning of that is so important for me not to learn? Anyways,
You
Well,
are
look-
still a child at heart, Top. Leave it at that.
Ari, why didn't
well,
you tell
now
us
you make
were
it sound
possessed?
very wrong. For all intents and purposes, I am at least 60 years old. I think.
Jules?
all right, look, Talk.
How
So
many bottles have you had today?
Some said you were possessed.
Am I going to get finished to
I said no
explaining
such
this,
thing.
or are we?
I think you did.
There is more to explain, because I have not gotten to the part of where I sent that door to God. Now,
I prayed to him earlier.
Jewel,
One moment, please.
Jewel, I
Talk.
understand you're having a rough. I know you were having a rough day, Jewel. Please just go to sleep.
Top. One moment, please. Since this room is open at the moment, could you please just put the door back where it should be for a moment?
Um,
And
Interesting you
cast
mentioned that.
mending. I will cast mending so it stays in place.
hey,
I don't think you
Jeff,
can mend that.
Jeff, we're gonna need your verdict on that one. How fixable is this door?
You can, yeah, it's fixable, but
But
In a
the
carpenter
mending
sense.
will be more like
Well, I can mend each hinge area and the lock area, and all of those should be within the size constraints of mending.
Okay, yeah. All right, I'll go with that.
Okay, because all I was imagining right now is what a fucking battering ram that an MP has does to the fucking reinforced doors we have in our barracks. And I then imagined a shittier version of that door being hit by 310 pounds of angry. And I was like, there's no way that door fucking survived.
Hey guys,
No,
what's going on in here?
I mean, think about it. The weak points are actually the hinges. So when you barreled through, yeah, you probably scuffed the door up, but the weak points were the hinges and the lock. They gave way first. So really, you just kind of pushed the door in.
Okay. Well, that's even worse then, because Talk has no abilities yet with metalworking. But
yes,
we'll make it work.
The mending will work. And now that we have a little privacy, please continue your tale.
So, essentially, originally we had done some additional investigating, realized you had left, and hoped that the case was that you had left before the skerfuffle. That's a fun word. I'll keep that one. Before the skerfuffle, and were intent to come look, and Jewel had the calling of elderberries, so we stopped by the tavern for a moment in hopes that perhaps maybe you would meet us here, because again, we were not informed of where you had gone, just that you were not here. And at that point, Haseo comes down shortly after. We get some much needed hot food and informs Jewel of going upstairs. Time passes. Loud noise,
That part's
screams.
false.
No. Anyways, time continues to pass. We hear loud noise, screams from upstairs. Haseo has left for whatever reason. And given the circumstances of what just happened, we went, oh no. So Ari and I came upstairs, found a locked door, and I made sure that door was no longer locked.
Why?
Because we just heard a blood-curdling scream from inside, and we were concerned.
Should you not have alerted the constables?
Jewel was screaming for help.
All right, I'll
Yes.
give you that one.
To be fair, she originally was screaming that I had been murdered.
Well, either way, that still would have been screaming for help, I suppose. But...
She looked different then than she does right now. I'm just throwing that out
That is
there.
true.
We'll get there.
Well, actually, she didn't look different per se. The face is still the same.
I had valid reasons to scream.
I would agree so. The circumstances did lead up to confusion and mass hysteria, but things were sorted. What we do have now is we
You
have...
lost somebody.
No, I was just trying to. I'm not sure my mic on Discord is working.
Now.
Okay.
But so, essentially, what we have come to find is that instead of a very bad set of circumstances involving murder and the like, we have instead discovered that we have an ally in need of assistance. And perhaps, and this is maybe perhaps me having a little bit more of a naivety again, perhaps instead of Jewel telling stories of others, we have stories to tell of ourselves.
Well,
Lo and behold, I'm trying to say we're going on an adventure.
May I interject?
Please!
I assure you, Talk, I have been an adventure this entire time since Miss Jewel paid a visit to my humble chapel. Now, could we get to the meat of this issue?
Yes, I will interject now. One statement that Tot made is not quite factually accurate. There was a murder.
Oh, yes.
And you already know the victim. There are some extenuating circumstances. What languages do you know?
My character quirks a brow. I am versed in Celestial, obviously the common tongue, halfling, infernal, and of course elvish.
Then you can read one part of the information.
Information?
Yes. It seems that Miss Coe's family tried to initiate a ritual with her being the focus. And during said ritual, the undead attacked, which prevented them from completing the said ritual. And unfortunately for Miss Coe, a fiend completed the ritual for her. And I'll produce the one that I could read, which was infernal. She has an out on the contract in infernal. I would not advise anyone to try to take the out. And I'll hand it over to Zemphiros.
Damn, you've had her contract with you this whole time.
Yeah,
She
they
gave
never
it to
gave
me.
it
I
back.
didn't give it back.
Yeah, they never gave it back.
That's fair.
Now, when Miss Jules was sober, well, more sober than she is now, she could read the other part of the contract, which was an abyssal.
I can still read.
Yes. I'm just afraid of what you can say. However, how many contracts with people of the other world have you ever seen some pharaohs that are in both abyssal and infernal?
None that I've trusted. Is they've done.
I have never seen it before. They do not get along. And somehow Code got into the middle of a ritual that her family stuck her in without knowing what it was. She now has two options. I do not think the infernal version of getting out is fair. And I do not know how you will feel about the abyssal version of how she completes her contract is. But I
It is a
told them
contract
all.
with the literal enemy of my deity. Why would I care about either?
Then perhaps you can figure a way out that I have not. But from what my master's dealings were when I was with him, you do not get out of said contracts unless you can reclaim the contract from the hells or the abyss. Am I wrong?
My character is going to look up from Irie. He's not going to look at the contract basically at all, not even trusting it, barely even trusting to touch it. He's going to turn to Ko, and he's going to probably get within her comfort zone. What is the price?
I'll back up because even though he's very commanding, I am still a noble, and I will make at least an arm's length distance between us. The contract at the top in Abyssal states that I have to collect 50 souls. And if I die before they're collected, then my own soul is trapped in a prison owned by the Herald of Blood. And then he will reincarnate me and basically continue to collect those souls under the guise of myself.
Pause game. Jeff. I, the player, know nothing of the Herald of Blood. Does my character know anything about the Herald of Blood?
No.
Darn. Could I assume that he's a demon or a devil?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. He's not powerful enough to be like a warlock patron level power, but he's up there.
So if I'm
Out
to
of all
understand
of
this
us.
correctly, I have to allow the condemnation of upwards of 50 souls, eternal souls, to damnation, torture, and ruin, or that of a smaller number of eternally damned souls that some misbegotten creature from beyond the veil particularly wants.
Basically, but I tried to explain to them that it can be humanoid or a creature, and unfortunately, creatures of the forest such as squirrels, deer, and I'm uncertain about bears, do not count. But it's possible that the spiders could have, but I didn't kill any of them, so I'm not certain. But I tried to explain to them I'm not trying to be out here killing just willy-nilly. I am perfectly fine just going about my own business and killing things as necessary in hopes that they count.
Perhaps things of more aggressive nature, such as gnolls, trolls, and kobolds,
Oh my.
could provide. But
Or
there's
we
much to be
Dorks.
speculated.
Maybe those giant squirrels.
Jewel. Jewel. At this point, Talk's gonna like actually take the sheet off because I realized the entire time he's been sitting here under a sheet. So that's been a bit of a thing. Because he never actually took it off because I'm a fucking dumbass. But he's just gonna be like, look, Joel, and he's just gonna take the sheet that he was originally covered up in and just kind of wrap it around. It's like, time for the drink to go away. And if she has a drink, he is just slowly taking it away. It's like, take a nap. It's fine. Go to sleep.
I'm sorry, you
You've had a
putting
long
the
day.
sheet over the drink, over her, and putting her in a sleeper hold? What's happening?
Yes.
You've asked the orb has said yes. No. So he's like kind of like wrapping it around her shoulders type deal, like bundling her up like a fucking old Russian grandma and little babushka. And
Theros, you are in the particular position of being the wisest among us. I am in
Especially
a
right
particular
now.
position of knowing what can go wrong with rituals.
I think that goes for all of us.
The question is there a way we can pervert the requirements of the demon and free her? Is there something we can battle in particular that would be advantageous to the town?
Demons do not tend to wax semantics or whatever it is this thing came about. Speaking which, Lady Gotika, how did this deal come about?
Oh, right. So she didn't share that with you. Okay.
There's quite a lot I've been shared with that I don't quite understand, and I also have further questions for you relating to what pretending not what you are pertains to.
Right, that. So, as I was telling them, about a year and a half ago, when things were normal, I was just a regular person, just studying, normal, noble female things about getting married off and bearing heirs and the like. And then one day, my father asked me to join him in our cellar where it was completely off limits. Everybody else had been there. I assumed that it was an of-age thing, which has only been a year and a half, which is hard to imagine because it's been a long time, it feels like, at this point. We went down, and my father explained to me that my family were blood mages and carved these symbols into my body, and it explained that basically I had to be on the brink of death and that he would chaperone, I guess, this process with the fiend. But during the said process, we got attacked by the undead. And my brother, my mother, and my father, they went out to fight, and I snuck out the back because there was no way I was going to be able to fight in my state. I blacked out on the road, at which point is where the fiend kind of came into play. There was no chaperone. I didn't know how this worked. I ended up in something I wasn't aware of. And when I woke up, I was in the monastery that Haseo's from and looking for my family in hopes that maybe my father, who was supposed to chaperone this, can fix it somehow.
So
I
I'm to
show
take this.
the
So I'm to take this as a familial or generational practice.
Seems that way. I feel like I've never seen the marks on my family. Though honestly, they pretty much kept most of their body covered now that I think about it.
Well then.
Co, I know you're reluctant, but show him your shoulder.
Okay. I guess that I'll just turn around and pull down the right shoulder, where at that point you'll see some of the bandages that wrap around my torso, but just above it is a little bit of basically all of the runes on my body, and you can only see this one right now, but basically all the runes all over my body look like they aren't incredibly fresh, but they're not scarred over either. But you can see a little bit of that. There's no blood on the bandage now because she's cleaned it all off, but just over the top of the bandage, you can see one of the runes. Or the top of the rune, rather. You can't even see all of it.
Unfortunately, I don't believe Ko knew what her family was doing. I know of blood mages. They're not as bad as a necromancer, but most people would assume them to be dead as alive. She's been in hiding for good reason. At this point, Gary will produce the cream and hand it over. This
Jeff,
might numb the pain a little.
Jeff, I, the player, have come to a conclusion, but I would like to ask: is there any basis of speculation to believe that demons or devils would obviously have some command of the undead within the mortal plane?
Yes. I mean, as a cleric, you know about Orcus, demon lord of the undead.
Well, it seems to me that this unfortunate familiar practice has earned the ire or long-standing annoyance of something that wanted all of you, or perhaps most of you, gone. Being attacked by a swathe on undead is not exactly a common occurrence in these parts.
I think it's a situation of power versus power.
I beg your pardon?
The blood mages contain white about power, much like a necromancer would. The undead do not like being controlled.
Most things
They're
don't.
just
And Kotakas and my people tend to live long enough for things to balk at being controlled under so long. And incidentally, being murdered tends not to be a stipulation in their contracts, I would assume.
no, it was not.
Very
But
well.
at this point, the question is there a way that we can make a greater good out of this act? That I leave to you.
I hope you'll understand, young man, that the study of trying to curse break is not a common practice within most religious orders. I would need to immerse myself in study. I would need to find what the actual stipulations of this contract are, and how to turn them to our benefit.
I don't think you can break the contract or remove the curse.
Not without incurring a very severe penalty that would likely kill everyone in this room.
No, it'll kill one particular person.
I don't think
The
the
choice
devils
of
or
the
demons or
demon.
whatever it is the Lord of Blood is that picky. especially
Yes, the
his
contract
agents.
stipulates he gets to pick who it is.
So far as his contract
And-
stipulates, when Kotaka dies, he gets to puppet her like some kind of marionette and then have her do his will without her being in the process.
Yes. So we can either try and pick 50 people that we think need to be dead, such as goblins or creatures, things that harm this town. Or we can let the demon reincarnate her again and again and again and kill people of the town and things like that.
And there's also the part that Ari read in Infernal that says the Herald of Blood could pick somebody of equal value.
That the demon determines.
Immediate targets that come to mind are high up royals, members of the clergy, etc.
One of you.
It could be anybody that she ends up getting close to.
Bold of you to assume that I have a soul.
I don't think it will be any of us because we're not important. I would say if it was going to be anything, it would be something that the people would look to. A ruler, a priest, a brave warrior that can lead the army. That's something that it would consider a good trade.
To be fair, I think that it means the value of the soul, not the value of the person.
And there it is. Lady Kotaka. It is, I recognize, by incredibly misfortunate incidents, that you have been burdened with something most heinous and terrible, and I do not blame you overtly for it. However, I must state again that to consign 50, or even a few, creatures' souls, their immortal souls, I'll remind you, to the fires of whatever hell this thing would drag them to, is not something I am particularly keen to do.
I don't hear you volunteering to fight the demon. Just saying, Zempirius. Just saying.
Am I to understand that I'm being sassed by not wanting to literally fight a conceptual demon, potentially in its own realm, to save a woman I ostensibly have done charity work for?
The way it occurs, if she does not do it, instead the demon gets to do it. Which would you prefer? Someone we know we can trust, choosing who ultimately there are some that are going to be damned to hell, whether we are the ones who kill them or not.
All right, let's kind of pause it here at this point. You really are going around in circles on this, and it is getting late.
Fight. Kiss.
No, fight.
I think that we fought everybody in the party enough today.
Yeah, I think the party's gotten enough damage from its internal workings as it is.
Strange TPK averted. Woo!
Hey, the only reason why it's averted is because we're putting it off till next session.
No, it's because she's dead.
Oh.
He was saying the halfling was the TPKer.
The strange TPK. Being killed because we kill each other is not in any way abnormal.
All right, I'm going to sign off. I got to get going.
All right, later, Jeff.
Alrighty.
I'll
Good
see you all
night.
later.
We'll see you guys next week. I got to go because I have work tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Right.